Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! It's the 6 o'clock and check-in. Come on, let's go. It's the AM nasty big hello. Merry Christmas! It's the Coolbet Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go! Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Feliz Navidad lights. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in. He's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites. Feliz Navidad lights. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Happy holidays.
Friday morning with the Nielson Show. Tis the season. Tis the season for a 8-game winning streak to be snapped. What? We'll get into that as we work our way through the show. Obviously, shout out to Jaunty one more time for just a great Christmas jingle, right, LTE?
Bringing the cheer.
Yeah.
Bringing the cheer. Yeah, we really appreciate that. And, look, there's a saying, all good things must come to an end.
Yeah, it's true.
And that happened last night. 8.
It did happen last night, didn't
You know what else is 8? It's the 8th day of the 12 days of... It's funny
Oh my
how
God.
those
Oh my
two
God.
things
You're
kind
right.
of, mash up here, but...
That is pretty impressive, actually. It is the 8th day of Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas. We'll get to that around 6:30 this morning. How was Century Casino last night? Looked like Atif was in one.
Man, Atif cares not when puck drop is. He'll get to the game whenever he feels like getting to the game. But no, Atif, I just want to get the picture here. Sandy, Dez, Norma Jean, Dustin with a Y, T-Roy, Trevor Savage, of course, Renee, Rob, and Bones making his way out to the casino last night.
Did you tweet that picture out last
to name
night?
a few.
Did I-
No, not yet.
Oh.
I'm going to do it
Oh, what
this
a
morning.
crew.
It was a real nice night. The last Thursday, the last smoked brisket cheesesteak for myself. But Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Oilers games, NFL, whatever sporting event tickles your fancy, they'll scratch the itch.
They'll have it there.
or tickle you,
Our
whatever you
Super
want.
Bowl party's going to be there. It's gonna
Super
be
Bowl's going to be
amazing.
great. We were getting that out last night as well. But hockey game on, and people were feeling good for. There was the start, then there was the middle.
I know.
And then there was
I know,
the
it's
end.
just-
But hey, better that on than the actual Thursday nighter Raiders and Chargers, which turned out to be quite something on
Yeah.
CFL schedule release day.
Yeah,
Nonetheless.
CFL schedule gets released and the NFL gives us that game. My goodness. Perfect. We'll continue to get at the Chargers, man. Like, it was Rappaport on our show yesterday who were like, nothing's gone right. Everything's gone wrong for the Chargers. Eckler injured earlier in the year. Now Herbert's out.
Well, even the
Injuries
needle
there.
to the lung.
Injuries there. Like,
I
yeah.
mean, lung needle. We're not too far removed from that.
We're,
are
we're
we?
just
Like-
a year removed from Lung
Yeah.
Needle story, right? So, things went poorly last night as well for the Chargers. We probably won't spend a lot of time on that one. We could mention
Could
that.
we maybe just stop it there? Like that's
it?
Well, I don't
mean,
know what else you
I
wanna talk
don't
about
have
the
it
game.
anywhere else scheduled into the show.
there's
today.
no reason it should be.
So, yeah, I don't think we have to worry too much about that. Tommy DeVito's agent.
Now that's
This
the
is
story.
this is a great
Yeah.
story. Tommy DeVito's agent, who none of us had ever heard of or knew who he was until he popped up this past weekend.
Hell of a week.
Dressed like a full gangster next to Tommy DeVito, who got 10 bans for signing.
Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets. His agent is going into the Italian Sports Hall of Fame in the United States. I mean, I don't know if he's got a big track record that we didn't know about.
Well, is he on a wait list? Like, how many people did he leapfrog this week?
Because of this
to
week,
get inducted, right? Like, talk about a rush.
He's been on the edge of getting in for years, right? Sean Stellato is being inducted into the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame.
Which wing?
What a run. What a week.
Builder?
I would say probably the wing of style. The style wing.
See that? Yeah.
Straight up gangster
It's a
on the
big wing.
sideline.
Big wing in that hall.
With Tommy DeVito. So I do believe, like after this week, assuming the Giants remain non-relevant and Tommy DeVito's nowhere to be seen next season once quarterbacks are healthy around the league, like we'll always have that 1 week where Doug Roach and Tommy DeVito's agent stole the show.
You know what? Yeah, that's...
Now for us, Doug Roach isn't going anywhere. The clip has been vaulted. It's going to be locked in forever. But will we remember? Will we remember Sean Stellato? That's the thing. Travis is in says Skinner may be a bit tired. Need a legit backup. Skinner, how can you use the? I'm gonna get rattled early here. I got a lot of problems with these people.
At least nobody's calling you a Richard yet.
Yeah, Tommy, man. Last night the postgame show was. It was worth checking out later today if you're looking for something entertaining. The postgame show was not like they had a sniff of winning 8 in a row. Like, it was full-blown.
That's the strive to perfection that I'm looking for here, right?
Skinner's the worst goalie of all time. Tommy's a dickhead for defending him. And it was funny because Tommy last night was just like, so somebody is referred to us as the short version of Richard. And I'm on the chat last night. I reply, on the chat, I go, hey, Tommy, you can say dick on the post-game show, bud. Like, it's going to be okay. So, yeah, people were fired up last night. And I think I saw Derek Reed in the nasty chat earlier today saying, all I want for Christmas is for Dusty to say the Oilers got goalied.
Say it. Say it.
Never.
At what point would you say it? 60 saves, 70 saves?
I'm not going to say it in a game in which they scored 4 goals. Like, to me, getting goalied is the reason that you lost the game.
You're saying it works 2 ways.
Well, they more so got goalied by themselves last night.
Yeah.
They scored enough goals on Vasilevsky to win the game. To me, getting goalied is Vasilevsky stops all but 1 last night. But they scored enough goals to win the hockey game. Was Vasilevsky bloody brilliant? 100%. But the reason they lost that game last night was Stuart Skinner. So I don't think they got goalied. I think they actually got through a guy who was trying to goalie you. Like, Vasilevsky was doing his best. I'll goalie as much as I can, and the Oilers still find a way because they were insanely dominant last night. So they didn't get goalied. They scored 4 goals. That should have been enough to win that hockey game, especially since Tampa wasn't pissing a drop out of outside getting that 2-0 lead. And then, Skinner had a really bad third period. 5 goals against, not all on him, obviously, but 3 that he probably should have had. So last night's loss, and I'm not tying this back in because I know on the post-game show last night, people were throwing shade at what Skinner did throughout the entire 8-game winning streak. I mean, he hasn't really played that well. Team playing better defense in front of him. Look, Skinner has played very well over the last 8 games. Has he had to have been brilliant? No, because the team's playing extremely well in front of him. And did they play extremely well in front of him last night? They did. But guess what happened last night? He crapped the bed. In fact, Skinner's probably the one post-game I want to throw on the show this morning. Maddie, do we have Skinner to chat? Okay. We'll get to Skinner when we get into our EM utility locating morning after show. Pat Janick is in and says, and they got Stamkos. Right, Stamkos. So I don't view it as a true goaling because they got through it.
Well,
they pushed through the goaling and scored 4 times.
You just broadened the definition of getting goalied because you can get goalied yourself. Getting goalied can happen from, there's 2 goalies on the ice.
Was goaltending the reason that game was decided one way or the other last night? Yes. And it's because Stuart Skinner blew it in the third period of that hockey game. But I'm not saying he wasn't a part of the reason why they went on this heater. So I think he's been very good for the last stretch, and I think he had an absolutely awful game last night, and that's why they lost to Tampa in a game in which I believe I saw Jack tweet out last night. They said a franchise record for shots on goal. So it was a very, very nice effort from the Oilers last night. Their goaltending just completely let them down. That's going to happen. Of course, it fired up a ton of trade discussion in the post-game last night as well. So you can continue that conversation. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you need a conch on this Friday morning, we can do that. I think I saw a box pounder in a little bit earlier saying a conch for Jasmine and her appearance on the hangout yesterday. I would agree with that. I would agree with that, box pounder.
Box pounder not in the photo, but he and his wife Jan getting lucky last night at the casino.
Oh, they were there too. She was hitting the tables.
Oh, yeah.
God. Yeah. Box pounder's life loves the tables.
Then at the end, it's adorable. They were sharing a big pint of beer.
Aw.
Like sip for sip. It was just they are a power couple.
They're a Century
I would say
Casino,
from the Century
Sports Bar and
Casino.
Lounge
Absolutely.
power couple.
Absolutely.
Damn, that's big. That's big. Third goal was fluky, rattled Skinner. The fourth goal broke him for the night, and he was going to allow a 60-foot wristers. That's in from RSO Cody today. Penner's Pancake says, Dusty, Stamkos scored 4 goals, and he wasn't even the first star. I'm not saying Vasilevsky wasn't the best player on the ice last night. He was. But you don't get goalied when you score 4 and allow 7. You get goalied when you score 1 and allow 2 or 3. Last night, it was Skinner that cost them the game.
He goalied them. They got
other way.
goalied.
Yeah.
Tube
Socks is in and says, I'm glad the streak is over.
Yeah.
It was too much pressure.
There you go.
It was too much pressure.
You bring that game
Saturday
tomorrow night to a Panthers team that got shut out 4-0 last night, right? You bring that. They played well.
They played awesome.
This isn't a retract to the play that we were familiar with to start the season. This isn't one of those things. I mean, I know everybody's looking for a response tomorrow, but you can't be thinking that this is the start of another unraveling here. It was a good game last night. They got goalied.
Good morning, boys. Skinner is an inconsistent goalie. Last night just proved it. I'm glad that he took responsibility for the loss. Yeah, we'll hear what Skinner had to say after the game coming up here a little bit later on. I mean, if you play really well for 8 games and then have a bad one, I guess you're viewed as inconsistent.
They played pretty well.
I mean,
though.
no
It's not like
goalie.
They played bad.
Look at Vasilevsky last night. What did Vasilevsky do last night? He was brilliant. What was his? Well, look at his numbers coming in. Like, not every single goaltender is going to be lights out every single game. How have we not realized this?
Not all of them, but there are a few Cadillacs in the league, right? That you would sometimes
there is
stay awake at night and dream. I know the money doesn't work. I know nothing works. But if you put one of those guys behind this team,
yeah, but there's like 7 of those guys.
I understand. I
mean?
I get that, but I think when you come up against the Hellebucks and the Vasilevskys in these certain scenarios, I think fans, and I think they don't even know it, but subconsciously you're seeing this guy do what he does, and I know that didn't win it for them.
Yeah,
but I think you sometimes catch yourself dreaming of what could be, and if you had one of these like 5-star guys behind this team that we know can score at will at times. I mean, if you could this is like Roach and DeVito's agent. It's like the two coming together. So if you could somehow get that net, going from good to great most nights.
The last 2 Stanley Cup champions didn't have a great goalie.
I get that.
They played well in the playoffs.
And Stuart Skinner could do it.
But yeah, you're telling me
could do
Stuart
it.
Skinner couldn't
All
go
the goalies could do it.
Like,
yeah.
If the team in front of you is awesome. Like, if the Oilers continue to play the way that they played lately, including the over 50 shots they had last night, they might be able to power through goaltending to win the entire bloody thing.
But to get like a performance like that Vasilevsky made last night, I think it leaves Oiler fans wanting a little more from a guy like Skinner or Pickard or whomever is, right? Like, and that's fair to say.
Obviously, would you want to have one of the best goaltenders in
No,
the league?
yeah,
of course,
yeah.
But like, how many goalies in this league are there where the fan base is like, no worries about him tonight? Does Vancouver have one?
It's like one hand. It's,
maybe Demko
right?
when he's on. Does Calgary have one? No. Does Edmonton have one? No. Does Winnipeg have one? Yes. Connor Hellebuck. Does Toronto have one? No. Does Ottawa have one? No. Does Montreal have one? No. Do the Kings have one? Cam Talbot's been good, but I don't think you're going to be like, oh, Cam Talbot's
You weren't
locking
saying
down
that
every
to
night.
start the season.
So no. Does Anaheim have one? I mean, John Gibson's supposed to be, but his numbers haven't been great. Does San Jose have one? No. Does Arizona have one? No. Does Dallas have one? Yes. Jake Ottinger would be a guy that I would not really worry about. Florida doesn't have one. Tampa does. Carolina doesn't have one. The Rangers and Islanders have two goalies that I'd feel confident in. Pittsburgh, maybe. Philadelphia, no. Who else am I missing? Boston had two guys who played really well last year. There's like maybe 8 or 9 teams in the league that feel really confident about their goaltending. The Oilers just don't happen to be one of them. And I guess the whole conversation started on he looked tired. How could he be tired? They had 5 days off. He hasn't played in back-to-backs, and he just had a break.
He
wasn't tired last night.
Reason
he just didn't play well. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Titan Ryan is in it, says, what's my favorite 8-game winning streak? The next one. Titan Ryan is ready to go.
Yeah, and Penner's Pancakes, fun game. End-to-end, back-and-forth rushes. You had a Darnell, the Nurse goal was something to behold. The point streaks continue. Boosh, McDavid.
Yeah, I mean, they played well.
What does Rashog always say? Racket? Racket?
Does Rashog say that? I thought Jim Rome said that.
I thought Ryan was trying to pass it off as his own.
The paddle boat's in it says, we don't need Skinner to be lights out every night. Just don't have games that are hot garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, last night was one of those. But he hasn't had one of those in 3.5 weeks.
But it's more common to see those, even though it's once every 3.5 weeks, than the opposite performance. Fair?
Yeah. Loomis is in and says, so if we need a goalie, do we try to go grab a certified one? Do we look for a 1A or 1B? You're not getting a certified one. This is the process I'm trying to go through here.
And I was speaking in Dreamscape. I wasn't actually
there's 7 or 8 teams in the league that have a legitimate, full-blown number 1 goaltender. And you think Minnesota's happy with their goaltending right now? No. UC Saros, there's another one.
Yeah,
Saros.
But what's the Campbell plus Broberg plus?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, here, take all our garbage.
Yeah.
Take the things that we don't want. Do you think that's what Oilers management are going to get done for a goalie? Come on, guys. It was a bad night for Stuart Skinner. Had he been good for 3 weeks? Yes, he'd been really good for 3 weeks. Last night was a bad night. Let's lay out the show for you. We'll get into your morning after show for EM Utility Locating. We will hear what Stuart Skinner had to say after that game last night as well. I know some of you are already talking about who should start the next one. We'll get into that as we work our way through the show today as well. If you need a conch this morning, 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the nasty chat as well. Zulu says, you're not bringing in a legit number 1. Not even Santa has that type of magic.
Oh, no.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking at Ken Holland's letter to Santa this year, he's asking for UC Saros. And even Santa's going to sit there and go, ho, 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 little Kenny. Still trying to find a goalie after all these years.
Kenny wants that PS2 under the tree, and it's socks. Hey,
that's a tough one. Wheels is in and says, everybody calm down. It's one loss. By the time I got to the building, the 6 o'clocker logger made an appearance at the Oilers game. The boys came back. He snuck one in last night.
He sure did.
Wheels snuck a 6 o'clocker logger into the game, I guess, in his wheelchair last night.
Oh, yeah. You can.
Brilliant move.
He can get anything in there.
Brilliant move. Morning after show's coming up. Lieutenant Eric's 12 Days of Christmas in the second half of the 6 o'clock hour. Crack Pack Christmas will continue here as well. Yes, we know the Elks schedule was released. We're going to get to that today for sure. Mike Johnson's going to be by just after 7 o'clock this morning, Coolbet Hotline of the Day. We will dive into the Elks schedule around 7:30 today. Pete Gregoire from Coolbet, he's going to pop by around 7:45. Him and Jake and the Coolbet crew were at the Leafs game last night.
Yeah.
In which they stormed back and
they won the
still
cup.
Lost.
They won the Stanley Cup, baby. That was hey, and also on that note, happy 1 week anniversary.
Let me think. 1 week anniversary. Today's Friday. Last Friday.
Otani Jet.
Oh my God! Are we already a week removed from Otani Jet?
It's been a week, hey?
Man, is it
Roach
bad
came
that
in to
I've
save
already
us.
forgot
Tommy
about-
DeVito's agent, hey?
Forgot about Otani Jet.
Celebrate accordingly.
You know, Roach came in when we needed him the most,
Yeah.
right? Like, did he not? Like, that's basically what happened here. If you ever need a pick me up, we'll give you it as we work our way through the 6 o'clock hour. That's a sound of the week right there. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week coming up as well. 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia. And one thing that we have to do today is we have to spin the wheel to determine the draft order for next week's draft of Christmas movie characters. And luckily for us, we have the host of the draft on the show today. Mr. Lean will be making an appearance
So
at
lucky
7:20.
today, yeah.
And then, Maddie, are you excited to spin the wheel today for the draft order for the draft on Wednesday?
It's not my job.
Well,
not my job.
But you're a fan.
you're not
job.
commissioned.
It's a
You're-
fan
my job.
job.
You're a
You
host.
won your way in.
You're the producer of the show today.
You won your way in.
We're doing it on the show today, right?
Where's
So-
your commish? Why isn't she doing it?
Well, because we do it on the show, she's not the producer, so
Well, you
whoever's
could-
producing the
you
show
could
the day
get
we
her
do it
on.
has to do it.
You could get her
You're
on.
not going to spin the wheel today for the order?
Oh, Matt, you got to spin. You're a
You
fan.
got it, Maddie,
now you have no
Maddie,
responsibility.
you
You
gotta
can have
spin
fun
the
with
This
it.
wheel.
isn't my job.
But you can
Spin
have
the
fun
wheel,
with it.
Where's your
Maddie.
wheel? Didn't you order a wheel?
Yeah, actually, I don't, it hasn't showed up yet.
ordered a
I
wheel?
did. I ordered a table-sized wheel. It hasn't showed up yet. That's a really good point. Yeah, where the hell is that wheel?
Here's the wheel.
The wheel. I did order a wheel. But still, you got to spin the wheel, right, Manny?
No, I don't.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. It's on the schedule for around 8:20. So you got
That's
some time
cool.
to come to your senses.
That's cool.
And we'll spin the wheel. This guy's not going to not spin the wheel today. I mean, come on, we're going to pick names out of a hat.
The host shouldn't be. The host is involved.
You are the host.
But no, he's not
You're
involved.
the host of the draft, pre and post.
Yeah, it's the host doesn't go do the draft, the lottery balls.
this is not-
They don't go sit there. They know it's Bill Daly that comes out with the cards.
This is not. Yeah, but he doesn't go in the back and actually.
Yeah,
run
Gary
for this.
Bettman's back there.
He doesn't run the system either. He just stands
And he
there
hires
bobbling his
someone.
head.
Let's come to terms on something. What's my payment?
There's no payment. The payment. Am I going nuts? Am I taking pills here? Crazy pills?
I'll buy you a beer.
Eric's gonna buy you a beer.
It's a good starting point.
Whoever would have been in as the host today would have spun the wheel. As
Get
the,
yourself,
as
get
the
yourself
producer
the
of
commissioner.
As the producer of the show,
I think it should be, if somebody offers you to spin the wheel, you should be graciously accepting that. That's most people. Everybody wants to spin the wheel. People enter contests in order to spin the wheel. This is like one of those Dr. Pepper Fan Fest things. Matty Iwanek is so lucky to be here with an opportunity to spin the wheel, and he ain't taking it.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be here.
It's an opportunity. Fan Fest.
I think
Say
deep
hi to
down-
everybody at home,
I
Mike.
think deep down inside, you want to spin the wheel, Manny. Joel is in and says, Grinch. Penner's Pancake says, going to spin it.
Bob Loblaw is
Maddie's-
calling you a
Maddie's
small
not
Richard.
gonna spin. He's calling him a small. You're a small Richard.
Dan Spence, don't spin it, Maddie. VR Montenegro. Well, looky, who needs the commish now?
We don't need the commission.
Clearly
this
you
is
do.
the role of the Nielson show producer to
Clearly
set
you do.
up the wheel and spin it. If YouTube Trev was here today, YouTube Trev would be spinning the wheel.
You had all
the problem
week to do
here is
this.
that
You had all week to do
we
this.
just happened to leave it to Friday because Friday's like a joyful time.
Thought
right?
you'd
like
like
a
it.
great
Thought you'd
show.
enjoy the.
I'm
the
trying
hoopla.
to move on from all of this, and you guys keep trying to bring me back in. You just won't let me go.
We're not trying to bring you back in. We're
just
just
won't
having
let
you
me
do
go.
your required job on a Friday morning.
Doesn't require any decision making.
You won't let me go. You just have to have me a part of it. You could have done this yesterday. But no, you
had
have
a game
to
to
bring
set
it
up.
today. You have a schedule to talk about.
Well, we're going to get to the schedule. D-Rock Sinner says, I support Maddie. He shouldn't have to spin the wheel. The commish should have hired someone. We did hire someone. We've hired Maddie. He works here.
The commissioner
He has
asked
to
me
spin
about
the
that.
wheel today.
I haven't been talked to about the commish. You guys aren't the commish. Actually, is this sanctioned? Is this spin sanctioned by the commish?
Oh, Quinn will pop in at some point.
Commissioner
Quinn Phillips
I
will.
feel like
Okay,
I-
so if Commissioner Quinn Phillips orders you to spin the wheel.
No, I don't listen to Quinn. I don't listen to anyone.
Well, then
But
how
in
are we
the
ever
end-
going to get the wheel spun?
Well, just straight up though, like, are we sure this is? How am I supposed to know that this is a legit spin?
What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter though. You have no. Why would you care?
It doesn't matter to you.
Just
Yeah,
spin
you're
the wheel.
host.
You just
I don't need
have
to do
fun.
it for you two. I especially
You
don't
don't have
need
to-
to do it for you two.
Well, no, you don't have to do anything. But you just it's a wheel. Spin it. It's
That's
fun.
it. That's all you have to
it's
do.
fun.
Matt, Eric and I
There's
will talk
no-
about like
there's
the
no-
order of it and
You
stuff.
know, I don't want to put Quinn in a bad spot here. Maybe you guys like, are you forcing this spin on her?
We're doing the spin
No,
to determine the order of which we want to pick, like just like we did at the last draft.
Spin the wheel.
Very basic spin.
Is that what she wants?
Yes.
Of course,
It
what
is.
the-
It is what she
It's
wants.
what the whole group wants.
That's what she told me.
I haven't.
What,
been
what,
told.
what, what,
All right,
you
well,
don't,
I do
you
even know
don't
what
think
we're
the
spinning.
commission wants draft order to be determined?
I don't know.
What
if this
world are
is-
we living in?
I don't know if this is the way she wants it determined. I don't know.
I like how the removed commission is now demanding proof of.
Disgrace.
Why? Well, disgraced. Yeah.
See, like I'm supposed to come and do things when you're calling me disgraced and all that.
We don't call you disgrace.
keep-
It's a reputation you,
keep
built for
just
yourself.
what
bringing me-
Wikipedia says.
You keep just bringing me back in.
Where's Quinn? Long live the Quinn. Where's Quinn?
That's a great question. That's what I'm wondering. Where's Quinn in all this?
If you want to support Maddie, he'll be with me Monday at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino Fort Road. Show up and hashtag justice for Maddie, as some people are saying.
There is. I see the one.
Who's that?
Hashtag justice for Maddie, but it's right above hashtag cut his mic.
Yeah. Funny enough, I'm the one with all the power.
So you should be spinning the wheel.
Dolphin Nation says, I used to think Maddie was a terrible commissioner. Then I met him. What a gem. The people want him back. Oh my God, what a bogus claim on a Friday morning. The people want him back. Lacombe Drew says, my 7-year-old pouts less than Maddie. VR Montenegro says, a respected ex-commish.
Thank you, VR. Thank you.
Strummy is in and says, I can't believe all three of you are getting paid right now. Belineski says, guys, I found an online spinner. Well, we know. We use it. Belineski, you watch the show like 24/7. We have the online wheel. It's not, but it's like I could spin it here on my computer right now.
Joe's doing the hard work here
Yeah.
this morning.
I could go to random.org and just get the order.
Give us a
But nobody's
spin.
going to trust me because it's on my laptop. We have to spin the wheel.
Put the laptop in front of the camera.
Oh my God, that's what we're doing here
That's
now?
a lot of work.
This is Bush League. We're spinning the wheel at 8:20 today, whether you like it or not, Matty Wanek.
Oh.
I'll take the call with HR Daddy after the show
Oh my
instead.
God. HR, you know what?
Line one.
If it's not Quinn, HR Daddy, where you at? Like, what's the level of, like, how do we make this happen?
We do have another warm body joining us later on in the show. Maybe that
Scott
gentleman
Laurie.
would like to spin the wheel. He wouldn't turn down an opportunity such as that, would he?
I'm just really rattled that our table wheel hasn't shown up yet.
That's now they.
I ordered that thing like 6 weeks ago. I only paid like $60 for it, but it was a nice little wheel. It had like a nice little base. It would have sat right here perfectly. Then we wouldn't have to be dealing with this. Belineski says he spun it. Belineski's just determining the draft
His own
order
draft order.
on
yeah,
his
the
own.
real draft order.
All right, so who's spinning the wheel? Guys, where's YouTube Trev? Well, YouTube Trev worked the post game late last night, so
Yeah.
he's on a day off, right? YouTube Trev's
Until
on
he
a day
joins
off,
me at my place later this afternoon.
Yeah,
for,
we got
for,
a little
pre-gaming.
EST Christmas gathering this afternoon. 'Tis the season. However, if a wheel doesn't get spun today, could be a pretty nasty party. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, let's get to a sports update for Green Plan. When we come back, we will get into your morning after show deeper dive on this game where they did not get goalied.
Well, they did.
They scored 4 goals.
They got goalied by their own goalie, though.
Ah.
You've just broadened the definition this morning.
I guess
right?
technically that is what we've done. Let's get to a sports update for Green Plan with LT.
Oilers win streak snapped at 8 games. Steven Stamkos with a 4-goal night. Andrei Vasilevsky stopping 53 of 57 shots faced. Oilers wrap up the 6-game homestand tomorrow against the Panthers. 7-4 your final last night. Also last night, Vancouver shutting out Florida 4-zip. Kraken all over Chicago 7-1. Wild, they topped the Flames 3-2 in a shootout. Blues double up the Sens 4-2, giving Drew Bannister his first win behind the bench. While the Leafs, wow. How about those Leafs? Toronto clawing back from 5-0 down. They'd score 5 straight in the third, only to lose in overtime 6-5 to Columbus. From being shut out in Week 14 to setting a franchise record for points scored to kick off Week 15, Las Vegas Raiders absolutely destroy the Chargers 63-21. They win, moving Vegas to 6-8, while the Chargers fall to 5-9. Raptors host the Hawks tonight, one of 8 games around the NBA. And back over to hockey, where the Oil Kings hit the ice tonight. They'll host the Swift Current Broncos, as the club will then play its final game prior to Christmas Sunday, when they welcome in the Regina Pats. Sports update brought to you by Green Plan. providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
Being a fan of the Oilers today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to have your say? It's the morning after show where we will talk about the game and let you know who you should blame. You want a show where you will know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game. You want a show so people know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game.
All right, let's get into the morning after show. By the way, Belineski spun the wheel. He says the draft order is Dusty.
No, we're not right. No,
Dusty, Tommy, Lieutenant Eric.
I'm not recognizing that
that's
sham
not the draft order. That's
No.
the order we would get to put our picks in. Where do you come out on this? Should we go with that one? Or?
No.
Okay, I was just. You never. I mean,
What do you mean?
people are
that's
trying.
The order to put our picks in? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
well, you know what we did last draft,
yes.
right?
Oh, we're doing that chair thing
Yeah,
again.
well,
Yeah.
not- you can choose the
If you
chair
want, yeah.
or you can choose the your selection. In the
Yeah, I
first
just
round.
think you never want to be
Is
in
that
that
what
three
the
spot.
commissioner decided?
Yeah, I don't know.
See, here's the thing with our commish. They're not a huge dick anymore.
What do you even care, Maddie? Why do you care? What do you?
You guys are already trying to, mess with Quinn and stuff.
You seem like you really want to get back in as a
I bet-
part of
No, I
this.
don't. You guys keep bringing me back in.
Can you imagine if he takes away his resignation and tries to step in on Quinn when she rolls in?
Bobby Valentine. He comes in with the disguise and everything.
Yeah.
Eh?
Hi, I'm Quinn. You're not Quinn. You're a Wannick wearing a wig. What's going on here?
Grumpy Cat, I feel you, Matthew. It's tough being technically correct all the time.
Oh my God. All right. The morning after show is for EM Utility Locating. Where I'm pretty sure Maddie from EM Utility Locating is telling the Wannick right now, just spin the wheel. They just spin the wheel.
Spin
today,
the damn
man.
wheel.
You can visit them at www.emutilitylocating.com. We will get to our steady Eddie of the evening. Spoiler alert, it's not Stewie Skins from last night. GPR and concrete scanning, damage prevention, planning, design, education, and training. Anything, any job that requires you to be doing something under the ground where you can't see. EM Utility Locating is your crew. All right, let's get into it. The EST big moment that happened. What are you going with, buddy?
Like the Sorelli empty net goal? It's 5-4. The game's
Yeah,
still in the balance.
When
Nuge
Nuge
it's
scored, I think people were
Well,
like,
and why not? You still got, a good chunk of time left at that point. Now I know, I'm going to go with that. It's not sexy or anything, and it's not an indictment on Stuart Skinner, which I think a lot of people are looking for. But yeah, the empty net goal to put them up 6-4.
Matty, can you turn my headphones down just a little bit? After yesterday, thinking I'm almost going deaf.
I suggested
I was like,
it.
this is
Yeah,
that sounds way better.
Yeah, just give it a
I can still hear you, but it's not super
and
loud.
we can bring it all down. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. Now I can just talk in a normal person's voice. Oh, this is terrific. It's funny, but that's a pretty good point.
I don't know. It's
No, because I saw somebody, I don't know if it was in the inbox or in the nasty chat, and they're like, why'd you have the goalie out right away after the Nuge goal when not necessarily having great possession? You could have waited.
I can look to those Stamkos Kucherov moments.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Kucherov's 20th of the year.
Yeah, that's
just
fair.
because it was like CeCe had him, and he played it relatively well, but Kucherov still found a way just to beat Skinner to that puck because Skinner kind of got left in no man's land. And he
after
ends up
coming back
poking
from
it home.
2-0 down to then fall behind again, with a back-breaking moment. But again, I think you and I having this back and forth right now just kind of exemplifies that it wasn't so far out of reach. Again, Skinner not great, but you had a chance there late against, and let's be honest, Tampa may be record not reflecting, but still a decent hockey club.
They have the star power
to
and
turn
the
it
goaltender.
on,
And
yeah.
remember, and this stings even more. I haven't brought it up yet, but they didn't have Hedman last night.
Yeah.
And Hedman is one of the top 5 defensemen in the National Hockey League. He's done it all. He's won it all. He's having a great season. They didn't have him last night either. And that would be, the Oilers aren't pumping 56 shots on the Lightning if Victor Hedman's in the lineup. But the Oilers still played extremely well last night. Super stat of the night. What are you going to go with, man?
Well, and I guess on a night like that, when you're losing 7-4, you can go to the unsuper stat of the night, in which I look at Skinner's. It's Vasilevsky's numbers, really, though. You always try to give it to somebody donning the orange and blue, but what did Tube Sox say? 32 more shots and the Oilers win that game easily. So maybe that is the case. So yeah, Vasilevsky's numbers, it's tough to ignore last night, and it's a great goaltender down there.
It's just a 9.30, which Stuart Skinner has had a better save percentage during the winning streak than
Fair point.
Vasilevsky had last night. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I think the superstar of the night is Steven Stamkos scoring 4 goals for the first time in his National Hockey League career. Since he's been in the league, he has been one of the top 5 goal scorers when healthy. Never had 4 in a game. Had 12 hat tricks. Finished with 4 goals last night. So I guess I'll go with the super stat that Steven Stamkos scored 4 goals in last night's hockey game. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in. 3 stars last night. Vasilevsky, Stamkos, and Nuge. Who's your 4th star of the hockey game?
Stamkos, Nuge. Connor McDavid, 2 points. Point streak continues, right? Bouchard as well with 2 points. I'd look at them individually, I guess, in terms of awarding that 4th star and looking for some positive, positivity coming out of the game. Those point streaks continuing. So, one of McDavid or Bouchard, but I'll go with the captain, I guess, in this sense.
Man, you know what really ticks me off? If the Oilers win in regulation last night, or if they just win the game at all, we hit our parlay yesterday. We got all the point props again. We had a Nuge assist. He had 2 of them. We had McDavid 2 points. He got it. We had a Bouchard point. He got it. We had the over 1.5 power play goals. Got it. The Oilers robbed us. Plus 635 yesterday over at Coolbet was that parlay. And then on the football game last night, as much of a debacle as that was, we missed our lock shot partner parlay in the NFL game last night by 1 Austin Eckler catch. And one of the Austin Eckler catches that should have been there was a pick 6. They were going to Eckler on the one that Jones just stepped in and took it back 15 yards the other way. I was like,
him, yeah.
Oh my God. If he just doesn't pick that and it gets to Austin Eckler on just an easy little pass in the backfield, we hit that one too. We're so close on both of them. It could have been a glorious night. 38th star of the game. Stuart Skinner. Tough one last night for Stuart Skinner. We're going to hear from him momentarily here. Let's get to your steady Eddie of the evening for EM Utility Locating.
Pickard?
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for my steady Eddie of the evening. I'm gonna give it to an entire line, and I'm gonna give it to the 4th line of the Edmonton Oilers. Gagne, Ryan, Hamlin. You have to be very impressed with what they're bringing to the table as a line that gets limited minutes. They're grinding. They're not big guys. They're working hard. They're causing turnovers. The Hamlin line was more effective than the McLeod, Kane, and Brown line, and I don't even think it's a discussion last night. They have a Brown and Kane issue here. I don't know. You have to split those guys up or how you split them up, but Evander Kane and Connor Brown do not work together to the point that we're saying. And then McLeod,
he's off the schneid.
Yeah, McLeod. That sums up my thoughts recently on Ryan McLeod. Let's just leave it there. So Steady Eddie, let's go 4th line last night, the Steady Eddie of the evening for EM Utility Locating. Visit them at emutilitylocating.com. Here is Stuart Skinner following the loss last night.
They're kind of what you saw and how you felt about them.
Yeah, obviously don't feel good about them. Yeah, the puck was bobbling on Cooch's. I went for it, and kind of at that exact time, he pulled it and put it in 5-hole. Obviously, doesn't look great. So, yeah, and then after that, Stammer came in, and mean, I'm not going to make any excuses. So move on and work forward.
Do you think that the first one of those caused the second one? Were you know what I mean? Did you think about the first one too long and the second one's past you?
No, I think I do a pretty good job at kind of getting back into the zone. I know that I still got a job to do. It's a 1-goal game, and like what you saw happen was we ended up scoring. And if I was able to make that last save, you know, we might still be playing right now. So, but no, that wasn't an issue.
Did the Stamkos hat-trick goal, did that go off anything? Did that change directions on you?
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I'm going to look back at it.
You guys have earned I don't want to say breathing room, but the losses don't have to be as heavy as maybe they were before. You've earned some too with your play lately. Is it important to kind of keep that in mind, you know, with this loss tonight, that it's not necessarily as acute as it was before?
Yeah, I think the guys played a heck of a game. I don't think anybody in this room should be upset except for me, to be honest. I think that I ended up kind of losing us the game. And that's something that I'll take on, and I'll be better for it. But I think these guys in here should all be very happy with how they played. They were fantastic.
Yeah, Leon said you probably win that game 8 or 9 times out of 10, right? So I'm sure that's a lot of solace for you guys to take forward, right?
Yeah, Vasi was also incredible. It was my first time playing against him, and it was pretty spectacular what he was doing. And yeah, I think Leo said it really well. I think, you know, these guys should all be very happy about it.
You play the position, you understand it obviously better than most. What is it about from your vantage point watching that makes Vasilevsky so good? What do you respect about his game as a goalie?
I respect a lot about him as a goalie. Yeah, he's obviously the best in the world at the game as a goalie right now, and he's so athletic. He competes so hard. I think he's able to make the easy saves. He's really good at making the difficult saves too. But yeah, his flexibility, his capability to compete, it's quite impressive to see, especially for a guy his size.
You talk about, you know, I mean, not many guys stand there and say I cost the team the game here. It's part of being a goalie, I guess, and just part of the job. How important is it to be good at that part of the job too?
Yeah, I think you got to take ownership when you need to. I know, obviously, as a goalie, I have opportunities to help us win games, and I also have sometimes I end up losing the game for the guys. So, yeah, it's one of those roles, and I picked that role because I love it. So I'm gonna keep on loving that, and this is only gonna make me better. So, yeah. Is what it is.
It's maybe a little cathartic, where it's, you know, instead of letting it fester, you just say, "Hey, didn't have a great one. Let's move on."
Yeah. To be honest, I thought like in the first 2 periods, I thought I was doing pretty good. Like I thought I made some good saves, but obviously the third period, you don't want it to be like that. So, yeah, same thing. Like I know that I can make those saves, and I will do that next time. So yeah, it's kind of one of those where you learn from your mistakes, you move on.
Not a lot of time to sit back and rest on the laurels, but 8 in a row is pretty good. What do you guys kind of look back on in your streak? Take forward to try and get some else going.
Yeah, I think just how we kept on winning, you know, being able to get 8 in a row is a very tough thing to do in the NHL. And keeping that mentality, even though we lost the game, I think, you know, wins or losses, is, you know, we can just stay the same, stay even keel, stay level-headed, and you know, keep on doing our best to win games. And I know that this group will do that.
All right, there you go. That is Stuart Skinner, who, as they say in the biz, owned it.
Yeah, it was like he got scolded by his folks or something for doing something, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, you caught me. I did it. What are we going to do?"
I took that cookie from the cookie jar.
Yeah, there's nothing I can hide.
I do
behind
agree with him. I thought he was good in the first 2 periods.
Yeah.
He made a couple really nice saves in the first 2 periods. He had an awful third period. That's what happened last night. Stuart Skinner had 1 third period. Zedmo was in and says Stu needs a rest. I don't like, how many games has he played? Like on the calendar over the. Let's just bring up Edmonton. Let's see here, because they had the 5 days off, and then since then he's played 4 of the 5. So it would have been 5 plus like 9. He's played like 5 games in the last 2 weeks. That shouldn't require a rest. You should be able to play 5 games over a 2-week stretch, right? Like,
But what if you can't?
he should be able to.
Nobody, he should be able to, but if he can't, then there's a problem, I guess. Hey, guys, if you guys don't torch Skinner right now, you are complacent and part of the problem. That text flies in unsigned. 780-218-9999.
We said it. He cost them the game last night. He was awful in the third period. It's not us saying it. He said it. He said he cost them the game last night. We said he sucked the big one last night. What more do you want? Trade Skinner. Go with the Pickard-Campbell duo. Find out how that works. Sit down for that one. See how that works. Like, what more do you want us to say when it comes to Stuart Skinner? He'd been really good while the team was winning hockey games. He had an awful third period last night. It was trash. It was one of his worst periods of the season. What more do you want us to say?
How many games do you realistically think he can play in a season? And that maybe that's what they're looking for to say. Because Penner's Pancakes, he's a 50-game goalie, max. And max is capitalized.
Once again, let me throw this out there for you. 2/3 of the goalies in the National Hockey League are 50, and not even actually. There's like the guys who... Nobody starts 65, 70 games anymore. So let's stop pretending it's the 80s and 90s. Okay, Marty Brodeur's not going to come in here and play 71 games and save you. Okay, this is how goalies work now. Stuart Skinner is probably a 50-game guy. They need to find somebody who can give you some goaltending the other 30 games. The last time we saw that backup, it was Pickard, and he won a hockey game for you. So if you need to go away from Skinner, you can go to Pickard again. Do they need to trade for a goaltender that can be a better backup to Stuart Skinner? Yeah, that would be ideal. I'm not going to sit here and say it isn't. But Stuart Skinner is a goalie that they've made their bed with, and this is the guy. Think about how he played in the playoffs last year. It wasn't good. They kept going back to him every single night. Stuart Skinner is this team's goalie. You're going to look around the league, and you're going to find 7 to 8 guys that you're comfortably playing for 60, 55, 60 games a year. It's just, he had a bad period. He had a bad period behind a team that played phenomenal in front of him, and they should have got the win. Guys, he's still a young goalie. Needs someone to share the load with, not just the physical play. Which, and I would say this, the Oilers agree with you. That's why they got Jack Campbell. Mm-hmm. Right? Like they brought in Jack Campbell.
That was the plan.
And basically were like, okay, we're going to pay him this money. He's going to be the number one. Stuart Skinner's a younger guy, and we're going to bring him along slowly. Yada, yada, yada. Campbell sucks the big one.
Well, if only they knew.
Skinner gets thrown into the spotlight, plays very well last season, and has been playing very well for the last 3 to 4 weeks. But he's still a young, inexperienced National Hockey League goaltender. None of their goaltending issues should fall on Skinner. It should fall on the organization for making the decision they did on Jack Campbell, and now they have no other answer there, and they have to rely on this guy that they probably weren't ready to give this job to anyway. And of course they weren't ready to give it to him because they gave Campbell the contract that they gave him for that amount of term. There's no way they would have sat down as an organization and said, you know what, Stuart Skinner's our guy. But what we should do just in case is also give Jack Campbell 5 years. Like this is not how they envision this, but this is the reality that they're in right now. So if you can go out and find I always come back around to like James Reimer as a guy where Stuart Skinner would still be your number one. Reimer would be a number 2 that you could play 2 out of 3 games if you really wanted to. And then if you got to the playoffs and Skinner struggled again, you could throw a veteran in there to see if it would work. But Barbershop Window says, Skinner sucks. We got to stop making excuses for him. Has he sucked the last 8 games? Like, why everybody always links every single loss to goaltending. Last night's loss was on goaltending. 100%. Skinner blew it last night. But has Skinner sucked the last 8 games? Well, no, it's because the team in front of him is playing so good. Well, maybe Cody Ceci should have actually, stopped Kucherov from getting his stick behind him and scoring that goal. Like, there's lots of different things you can look at. Skinner was piss poor last night. It's as simple as that.
Somebody asks if Yarrow Halak would be an option.
Let me just pump the brakes here on Yarrow Halak for a second. Carolina can't stop a beach ball right now.
Worse off. That
Carolina has
than
a
the
worse
Oilers.
goaltending situation. Very good point. They have a worse goaltending situation than the Edmonton Oilers. They brought him in for a look, and they're like, "This dude can't help us."
No thanks.
So he's gonna. This is not 2010 when you're like, "Oh, Yaroslav Halak's better than Carey Price in Montreal." This is 2023. $780-218-9999.
How about this, Dave the Welder? Skinner just slipped on a banana peel, let them go roof daddy, and the Oiler fans aren't happy. Good incorporation of the clip. Twofold.
I like that.
I like it.
You know what?
Gonna bring it back. It's Friday, man.
It's Friday,
Come
yeah.
on.
Joey Bielak turns back. Looks like they're doing a little reverse that you might see in football. And here comes Bazin. He's got some speed. Split the D. Oh, what's he going to do? He's shooting a roof daddy. Oh, look at that. Look at this, look at that. And there's the speed. The old banana splitty Rudy. And, Vernon is rejoice as their nemesis, Steinbach. They get him in overtime. Roof daddy. As Bazin kept chugging as his speed helped split the D. And there's no slipping on a banana peel there as he went. Slipper on upstairs there. A goal as Verdon is happy.
Unbelievable. Did we watch the Doug Roach thing yesterday after the show?
Yeah, when he was in tears.
This dude is not who he sounds like. That's why I still think it's all a bit. We watched this tribute to him that Haji from Sobeys Liquor sent me yesterday, where it talks about him, being a great coach in the city. He works in the wood shop at the high school. And when he talks, he doesn't sound anything like the guy who's calling this game. Something's going on here. I feel like there's some sort of conspiracy behind the legend of Doug Roach.
It's just a Pinter thing to me, really.
That's what it is?
It's just that, you never, that's what he looks like, hey? And then it takes time to get used to it. And
Barbershop Window, I completely disagree with you. I'm trying to get off this conversation with Skinner.
know.
He says, I'm worried. Every time someone takes a shot on Skinner, it's like 80% it could go in.
That's a pretty...
You're right, because Stuart Skinner's rolling with a save percentage this year of 20. Come on, man. I can't do it. Do you have the 12 days of Christmas?
Yeah, man.
Let's
go.
get 12 days of Christmas here. Matt, are you ready to spin that wheel? We get to that wheel there at some point on the show today?
It sounds like you need something special.
I need something special? Maddie needs something? Maddie, do you want
The two of you.
Do you have your little...
Both of you.
You have your liqueurs? Do you want to have that little Gretzky? I'll drink a little Gretzky with you today.
Liqueurs?
Spin the wheel?
Look at you with your
Mend
olive
some
branches
fences,
here.
right?
I like it. Well,
Listen.
Maddie, too, if you want to join in, Trevor and Dustin have been lending their voices.
Well, what's it
on
on
the
again?
5th day of Christmas, EST game to be 5 cafe lattes, and then you come in
From
A&W if you so choose.
If you want to,
the
Maddie,
options there. If you don't, that's
in
fine
there.
too. We're not silence. It's definitely
All right. I'll give you the run through here. All right. Gotta hit it hot.
Now we can. This
is
stretches to the full 8 though.
This stretches to the
I
full
will
8
find
days.
another. Yeah.
Then we gotta find another one for Monday.
Okay.
All right, here we
So
go.
you can count me in.
Wait.
Are you doing it with a 1? And
That's not it. Sorry. I gotta get ready here.
How dude.
All right. I'll do 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. All right. A 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Ready? Here we go. And a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
I screwed it up. It didn't start properly. All right, hang on. I'm gonna hit it down here now. Ready? Okay. Ready.
Now I'm gun shy.
Are you okay? And a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Damn it. Did I screw that one up?
That's 2 false starts. No, you
got
hit
it.
it too fast. You're a 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, and you're like into it. You got to get like that other extra beat off the.
So I gotta go a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Hit it. So we're not hitting it on 3. I'm hitting it after.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I blame Skinner for this too. All right, ready? Here we go. And a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3.
On the first day of Christmas, EST gave to me a black sedan guy being creepy. On the second day of Christmas, EST gave to me 2 Tombstone Tuesdays and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the third day of Christmas, EST gave to me 3 spa dates, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 4th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 4 tomato aspects, 3 spa dates, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 5th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 6th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 6 alley cats, 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 7th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 7 sirloin bites, 6 alley cats, 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 8th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 8 hockey specials, 7 sirloin bites, 6 alley cats, 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy.
Woo! Nailed it. Nailed
You
it.
on time there?
Well
Hey,
done.
yeah,
Well
you got
done.
that.
Hey, 8 hockey specials. That's from Seductions. I didn't realize it until you were back on to like number 6. So I was like, hockey specials?
wait a
What's he
minute.
talking about? Oh, he's talking
Yeah.
about the hockey special you can get at the old Rub and Tug next
Down
door.
the road
That's
there, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, you got it.
Well done.
Maybe that's, I don't know, for a Friday too. I mean, who doesn't like a good Friday hockey special?
Yeah.
Really
8
getting the,
hockey specials.
yeah. If you haven't had the Christmas season touch yet, maybe today's the day.
Nailed it, buddy. Now, that does bring us to the end of our 2 minutes of that song, so we got to find the extended version. So
Yeah.
we will get to...
Monday. And we got to cram in a few
yeah.
days here before Wednesday as well. I think we're going to
yeah, we could...
wash them all in.
oh, we'll make it work.
And what a job on Matt.
Maddie, I have
Never
to
knew
say,
you had
I
the
feel
pipes,
like
eh?
feel like we're back on track here now.
The pipes.
Hey, you step in, you sing extremely well. You're feeling like a little bit of a spin on the wheel later on, I think now. Hey? What do you think?
Hey, yeah.
I feel like this is you guys are bullying me into spinning.
Oh,
this
we're
ad,
not
so
bullying
you're
you into
bullying me.
Smiles on our
anything.
faces and
we
bullying
want you to want to spin the wheel
This is workplace harassment.
as Nielsen show producer, not as commish, not as draft host, as Nielsen show producer. The role requires a spinning of a wheel today to determine a draft order for the Christmas draft.
being bullied into this.
VR Montenegro says, I'll tell you who's not to blame for yesterday. Paul Coffey. That's true. That's true.
He'd spin the wheel.
All right. Mike Johnson's going to pop by. What am I still? I'm still playing something in here.
Rub and Tug, you told me it was a massage place. Somebody texted in
Yeah, Seductions.
6 o'clock or...
Seductions, it's a thing.
Well, there's 2 different places.
There's 2 places?
Well, we have the Russian spa
Yes,
downstairs.
Well, yeah, that's
downstairs,
just
yeah.
a regular spa.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a spa.
but then there's the
Seductions,
Seductions,
is around the
which
corner.
is
And it's
for
it's a sexy time.
an
Semi-parking,
upper scale affair.
Yeah.
Semi-parking available.
Semi-parking available. Yeah.
Semi-parking, yeah, that's right. Semi-parking available at Seductions. Hard life being on the road. All right, Mike Johnson is on the way. We'll get to Coolbet Hotline of the day. We got to get to that Crack Pack Christmas. We're going to dive into the Elks schedule for the local spin for United Sport and Cycle, where they're doing some fun things with their 12 days of Christmas down at United. But let's get into a sports rewind for Universal Rewind with Lieutenant Eric.
Oilers' 8-game win streak snapped last night. Tampa Bay Lightning 7-4 victors over the Oilers. Steven Stamkos 4 goals. Andrei Vasilevsky, he stopped 53 of 57 shots faced. Oilers will wrap up the 6-game homestand tomorrow night against the Panthers, who were shut out last night 4-0 in Vancouver. Elsewhere, Kraken all over the Blackhawks 7-1. Wild topping the Flames 3-2 in a shootout. Blues giving Drew Bannister his first win behind the bench. They double up Ottawa 4-2, while the Leafs, they almost won the Stanley Cup last night. They'd claw back from 5-0 down, scoring 5 straight in the third, only to lose in overtime 6-5 to the Blue Jackets. From being shut out in Week 14 to setting a franchise record for points scored, kicking off Week 15, the Raiders crushing the Chargers 63-21. The win moving Vegas to 6-8. The Chargers fall to 5-9. Raptors and Hawks tonight, one of 8 games around the NBA from Toronto, and the Oil Kings hit the ice tonight. They welcome in the Swift Current Broncos to Rogers Place. The club will then play its final game prior to Christmas Sunday when they host the Regina Pats. Sports update brought to you by Universal Rewind, reminding you that regular motor maintenance will prevent costly downtime. Contact them today to learn more about their motor maintenance services. Choose experience, expertise, and quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.702 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here. We love you. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you send in something hilarious, you could get into the mix for text of the day today, and that'll get you a gift card for $20 to our great partners over at A&W, where they have the Mama Burgers on special, 2 of them for less than $10 for $9.99 in the month of December, because A&W Santa is a real treat. And they decided to give us those Mama Burgers for $9.99. Our next guest, Mike Johnson, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists, located in Edmonton at St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave, 1 block north of the Yellowhead, a block and a half past the Arby's. Online at proamsports.ca. Like you, they are sports nerds too. The Edmonton Oilers had won 8 in a row, Mike, but if you're looking at our inbox this morning, you'd never know it after letting one slip away against the Tampa Bay Lightning, buddy. That was quite a game last night, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, entertaining. It's amazing, though, that they've done so much and they've accomplished so much, getting themselves right back in it. They've won 8 in a row. They look so good. And it feels like all the belief of that great run is undone with one bad game, like one off game by Skinner, a few bad defensive breakdowns, 1 4-goal pack, top players playing too much. It's all like, it all went away the last 3 weeks. Like, it didn't even happen, which is ridiculous, of course. So listen, it was a tough game in the sense that Skinner probably didn't play the way he wanted. Tampa, we know, could score goals. And yeah, so they had some tough goals against, but they were good. Like, what, they have 54 shots? Like, they completely
56.
dominated
I think
the
it was
game.
56. Like, they set a franchise record, man.
56?
Yeah.
You know, like, what are you
57.
going to do? Like, if Vasilevsky, 57, Vasilevsky plays like that, what are you going to do? Like, you can't be that upset about it. Like, there's definitely things to clean up, things to do better, but it happens. And it's, you know, it kind of came crashing down to a thud and get them right back refocused, ready to go to the next game. But it was entertaining, wild stuff, but you can't be too hard on the group. It wasn't a great game in some aspects, but in other ways, it was like a very dominant game by them.
Yeah, it was. I mean, their second period was absolutely insane. Well over 20 shots. They set a franchise record for shots on goal. Skinner came out after the game and basically said, "This one is on me. The guys played great." So, you know, they very well could have and probably should have made it 9 wins in a row. You know, sometimes you do have to tip your hat. Now, they still scored 4 on Vasilevsky. Like, they still found ways to put pucks past him. But that has to be a very encouraging game for Tampa, because Vasilevsky, coming off the injury, had kind of been hit and miss, so-so. I mean, I wonder if that's the type of game that really gets him on a roll. Do you think?
I sat there thinking about, like, after that game, who's happy? Like, are Edmonton happy? No, because they didn't win. But they're happy with how they played. Tampa's happy because they won, sure. But are they really happy that they had their goalie have to make 60 saves?
Yeah.
Or gave up, like, not really. Like, that's not really a recipe for success. Yes, individually, like, oh, I guess the back looks okay, and he showed that he can still be one of the best goalies in the world and stand on his head. Sure. We don't want to have our goaltender do that. Tampa, No Hedman last night obviously hurts a whole bunch, but like that game sort of is a synopsis. You talk about Edmonton, like what are they for Tampa? That's kind of what they've been. Like they can score a ton of goals. Kucherov leading the league in scoring and point and score with a. How has Stamkos never had a 4-goal game? First of all,
yeah,
like,
that was wild.
That. He had, he's 60-goal scorer. He had, one of the best. He's a Hall of Famer already, and he never had a 4-goal game. That's incredible. But this is sort of what Tampa has required for them to win games this year. One of their best players, and they have about 6 or 7, right? Really, really high-end players. One of those guys has to be great. And that's all troubling. Good news, they can be. Bad news, you're asking them to be to win games. So, yeah, Vazzy was great, but it might spur him on. But I don't think John Cooper walks away from the game saying, all right, we're back. We got it right where we want it. I don't think so at all.
That's a really good point about Tampa. They come away with the victory last night. The Edmonton Oilers, things have been clicking extremely well for over 3 weeks now. The one area that has been a little hit and miss, top line has been probably the best in the league over the last 3 weeks. McDavid with Hyman and Nuge have been terrific. The fourth line has been relatively impactful as well. The coaching staff has flipped up Draisaitl and McLeod. McLeod, Kane, and Brown really haven't been able to move the needle. When Draisaitl's going, obviously he can carry guys like Foegele and Matthias Janmark. But what do you do with, do you split up Kane and Brown here? Connor Brown, obviously, he's not getting any luck, but he's also not producing at all in any way, shape, or form. How do you get the middle of that lineup kind of clicking, do you think?
Well, I think Draisaitl probably wants a finisher, right? As much as we like, Foegele or Janmark, neither one are really traditional goal scorers, you'd say, at the NHL level. I think I would probably want a Kane up with Draisaitl if you're going to go Nuge and Hyman with Connor, and then rotate the other ones around. Like, you could break up Kane and Brown, you could put Foegele, Janmark, whatever. But, I would be inclined, Kane with Draisaitl, proven goal scorer, understands how to play with top players, and is comfortable doing so. Listen, it's on Draisaitl. He is more than good enough to take anybody that he plays with. He can play with me and turn him into a pretty good offensive player. So whether it's Foegele, Kane, Brown, I understand Brown's had a tough go getting the offense going, but I think Kane, who's been pretty good, other than some penalty issues, he's been very good in Edmonton this year. He really has played a lot of passion, a lot of energy, scored goals. Give him to Draisaitl, then sort everything else out. The other 4 guys in that mix, they are interchangeable. Whatever is working on that day, whatever you want to go with, and start from there. But I don't think you shouldn't have to grind. How do we get Leon Draisaitl wingers that he might be able to score, semi-regularly with at 5-5? It's Leon Draisaitl. He should be able to do that with just about anyone.
Mike Johnson with us on the show this morning, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. One more on the Oilers here. They lost last night, but they've won 8 of their last 9. They've got themselves right back into playoff contention here. Do you think over the last 3 weeks they have looked as good as the team that was rolling down the stretch last year?
Pretty close, actually, which is amazing to say. It's really pretty close. The goals against way down. Some of that's on Stuart Skinner playing much better, but I get the power play gets going and the offense, and we know Leon and Connor can get running away with the points, but it's really when the goals against and the chances against get more under control. That, to me, is what made them really good last year after Ekholm arrived. That, in many ways, even though the underlying numbers were strong under Woodcroft, the big mistake was still, the big miss, the big breakdown was really haunting them. That was cleaned up a little bit. The penalty kill, obviously, got way, way better in the last few weeks. So, yeah, they're pretty close. They're pretty close to doing and looking like the team that finished last year, the team that some people, like me, had going very far this year. They look like that group. And I think, I just want to, does it say more about the Oilers or the West that in 3 weeks they went from being San Jose's partner to back in the playoffs by point percentage? In 3 weeks, not even, they went from the worst team in the league almost to in the playoffs and sort of right there in the mix with everyone else. That the luxury of the West being top heavy but bottom light this year has helped them get back into it.
You said it, Mike. That wild card grouping isn't exactly stuff of nightmares for most teams, but Entertaining affair out west last night. We must mention the Leafs. An entertaining affair out east last night. Walk us through that one, Mike, and how are Leafs fans digesting that overtime loss, albeit scoring 5 in the third for last night against Columbus?
So it's a little bit like Edmonton, right? Like, not that they played well, but like the fan base is generally appalled by what happened. The fact that they got down 5-0 to Columbus, they're like, what the heck is that? Like, off nights happen. Obviously, I had plenty. Like, I get it, but it's Columbus. You're Toronto. You've been playing so well. Like, how does that happen? So even the crazy, had they finished the comeback, the narrative would have been so different. Had they won that game, it would have been gritty and resilient and character, and you can't keep these guys down and all of that, right? But it was more like, it's Columbus. How do you let that happen? And the big problem with it is, it was crazy. Like 2 empty net goals to tie 5-5. A lot of fun. Ilya Samsonov is concerned. Is really legitimate concern. And you guys know it all too well with goaltenders and how they can fluctuate their performance. But he was really good last year. Like, he was a legitimate top 8 goaltender in the league last year. And he's been nothing close to that this year. And with Joseph Wall out with a high ankle sprain, and high sprains for goalies, you can make an argument you're better off breaking your ankle than getting a high ankle sprain, depending on the severity, especially for a goaltender who puts so much torque on his ankles like that, even more so than a player. Like, Samsonov looked good against the Rangers, I suppose. Or no, the Rangers against the Islanders. And he looked good against Nashville when he shut them out. But he was awful. And Martin Jones, the backup, I don't know how long this is going to be sustainable. It's going to be 4 or 5 weeks of these two guys. He wasn't good, and that's a problem because he didn't get all year. Like, that's the biggest takeaway. Strange that they gave up all those goals. Awesome that they came back. The Leafs' top 3 guys are probably as good as the top 3 guys anywhere in the league between Nylander, Marner, and Matthews. I mean, excluding Tavares. Like, I don't know if any other team has 3 players that are playing or producing better than those 3 guys this year. Like, that's how good they've been. But man, the goaltending without Wool here is it's question mark.
It's funny how goaltending is, as you said, we know here, like, it's
coast to coast.
It's tough. It's tough. We had people today.
It really is, though.
Yeah. Well, it is.
You know what, guys? I watched last night Bobby Lou, hilarious, getting his the Ring of Honor. Can't you just retire his jersey? He probably warrants a retirement, doesn't he?
I mean, when you look at
whatever.
the best goaltender in Canucks history, I think you probably could do that. You know what I mean? Like,
probably could do that. But anyway, so they honor him. But it got me thinking, like, there's a dearth of quality goaltending right now around the NHL. There's just not enough good goalies to make up 64 good tendies.
Yeah.
And I thought you start thinking of, like, Luongo's recently retired, Carey Price, Lundqvist, Pekka Rinne, Tuukka Rask. Like, a whole bunch of guys that you could count on, Corey Schneider, that were like, these guys are the elite goalies of the league. And, like, they made up, 6 of the top 10 spots every year. And they're all gone. And they've been replaced by Sorokin, Shesterkin, Vasilevsky. And, like, that's it. Like, I think there's a vacuum there of high-end, consistently great goalies that is being shown around the league.
Well, it's funny you bring this up because in the 6 o'clock hour today, when people were like, Dusty, the Oilers have to trade for a true number 1. I'm like, you're nuts. Like, because you look around the league.
Ooh.
Exactly. Like, we basically, I just went through a bunch of the teams off the top of my head, and the question was simple. Does this team 100% trust their goaltending when this guy is starting? And we got through, you mentioned Shesterkin, Sorokin, Vasilevsky. I'm a huge Jake Ottinger guy. I like Jake Ottinger. There's always UC Saros. That's another one that we said, and Connor Hellebuck. And we're like, you're not getting one of those guys. Like, those guys don't move. So you're kind of in bed with the rest of the league being like, God, I wish we could use an upgrade between the pipes. It's just, yeah.
But what you want to do if you're running a team is if everyone's like that, if you don't have one of those 7, 8 guys, you're lumped in with the other 15, 18 starters. What you don't want to do is pay those guys money. Like, you know what? I might not be sure, but I'm not giving them $5 or $6 million. My goaltenders combined cost $4. And I'm taking the other 4 or 5 that I otherwise would spend, and I'm spending it on defensemen and forwards to make our team better. And we roll the dice with Tristan Jarry or Vinny Husso or, whoever it might be, Cam Talbot, Aiden Hill, like whoever it might be, and hope that we keep lightning in a bottle in their room. If they are, then a lot of teams would be good enough to go far in the playoffs.
MJ, as always, buddy, really appreciate the chat, man. Thanks for popping by.
Thanks, Mike.
Boys, have a great week. Next time I'll talk to you from Europe. I'll be over in Sweden
actually,
next week.
Yeah, when do you, somebody in the nasty chat was like, hey, when does he start his European adventure with Gord Miller? When do you guys take off? When do you head out?
Yeah, I go traveling with my dad, Gordo, on Wednesday. We take off overnight Wednesday, get there Thursday. We got some exhibition games before Christmas. We got a couple exhibition games, and then we get going on Boxing Day.
Excellent, buddy. Well, safe travels, all right?
All right, guys. Have a great weekend.
There you go. That's Mike Johnson with TSN, of course, on the World Junior A team with Gord Miller as well. Went all staticky at the end there, didn't he?
He could be his daddy, though, Gord, hey? Like, that's kind of a bit of a...
I mean, are they? Is that a father-son relationship, or are they best friends like me and Glenn Suter?
And he calls him daddy.
Yeah, he just calls him. Gord Miller says, Mike, hey, Mike, whenever you go on do any World Junior hits, you have to refer to me as ya daddy. But I'm glad MJ brought it up because we didn't necessarily lead him into the goaltender conversation, but he brought it up. Like, there are not a lot of great goaltenders in the National Hockey League. They just aren't. If you can somehow find a guy that can give you a 9-10, you should wrap him in a bubble and keep him forever.
But if you can't, be loose with it. As he said, don't commit yourself to something that's not a sure thing day in, day out, right? Like, that's...
what did he just say? He goes, if you don't have one of those guys, don't end up paying $5 to $6 million for another guy.
Fool's game.
And, I mean, there's no better example of that than this market right now where that guy is buried in the minors and you can't use that money to either A, get a different goalie, or B, use it to address things up front.
Yeah, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
It's tough gig. This text is in and says, lay off Skinner. Lay off Brown. The team is back on track, and let's just see how it plays out. People need to settle down. We're 1 point out of a playoff spot with 2 games in hand. That's in from Leslie. Leslie, appreciate the text.
Another glass half full person such as yourself, eh?
Just like me.
Nice to see.
Huge glass half full guy just like me. But Leslie, to me, it's the layoff is when there's no criticism deserved. Last night, even Stuart Skinner basically admitted he sucked. I've said 10 times on the show today, I think Skinner had been really good down this winning streak, and last night he blew it. I don't have to lay off that. That's just reality.
2 things can be true at once.
And Connor Brown, what are you laying off? I mean, there's nothing to lay off. He's never even had a positive check mark. You know what I mean? Like, so I would throw this out there, and I think MJ made a really good point. For those of you who are saying, man, Mike Johnson's a great guest. Yeah, Mike Johnson's a great guest.
Johnson for GM, as somebody said.
Wow. MJ for GM.
MJ for GM, yeah.
GM MJ.
MJ GM.
Yeah, one way or the other. I mean, he is Mystical Mike. No, I think what you do here with the middle six, like that fourth line stays the same. You're not touching the McDavid line right now. I think what you have to do is get Connor Brown. I think you're overthinking it, possibly, with getting Kane and Brown away from Draisaitl. I mean, unless it's in Connor Brown's contract, and after we saw the contract they gave him, it might be. But unless it's in Connor Brown's contract that he has to play with one of Nuge, Hyman, or Kane, I think what you do is you put Kane back with Leon Draisaitl. You put Matthias Janmark on the right side over there, and then you have Fogle, McLeod, and Brown, and you just hope that Fogle can kind of drag those 2 guys into the battle.
Yeah.
And then you leave Janmark with Kane and Draisaitl. I think that's the play here. Am I wrong?
Interesting theory with the contract stipulation.
Well, I mean,
that leads you down that path, but
it's rather remarkable, isn't it? Hit us up in the nasty chat or at 780-218-9999 as well. But I think Penner's Pancake says Kane and Fogle with Leon. I think I like Janmark better there with Kane and Draisaitl. Fogle has that familiarity with McLeod, and then you can see what happens with Brown. Anyway, you can text us anytime. The Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Chance to win the A&W text of the day today. That's a $20 gift card to A&W. We're going to get to your Coolbet hotline of the day. Just after 7:30, the Edmonton Elks schedule is released. The Riders rolling into town on week 1. Actually, I like week 1. I like the schedule in the Canadian Football League for week 1 this year. It's nice.
Avenging the goal line stand, eh?
That's it.
That's a year removed. You'll
Where's Kyle Loxley now?
You'll narrate. I can see it now. That highlight package of
Redemption.
Cornelius. The timestamp dates.
Cornelius gets the job done where Kyle Loxley never could. Elks open 1-0. We'll get into that for United Sport and Cycle coming up here just after 7:30 this morning. Pander's Pancake says 3C is a big hole right now, and it's noticeable. You knew when Gagne's line was out there. They have some nice chemistry. Yeah, that's why I said you're not touching that line right now. I mean, with that being said, that line is not. I saw somebody else said fourth line's the second line. It's not. I mean, whatever line Leon Draisaitl is on is your second line. Let's not get too carried away. Here I am being glass half empty guy. Like, let's not get too carried away on the fourth line. But yeah, I think you got to have Kane and Draisaitl together. It's the other side where I'd probably Barry Brown somewhere else, I think. We'll get to a few more of those messages along the way. But let's get to your Coolbet hotline of the day. And if I'm seeing this correctly, we have a little battle on the pitch. Is that this weekend here? Is that what's happening here?
Not really a battle.
Oh, what's that mean? Because your
I'm
team
just gonna
sucks?
let him.
Well, no. So fill me in here. This is
Manchester United's form is garbage, and they have a bunch of injuries.
Captain suspended.
No.
What did the captain get suspended for, boys?
Well, Bruno got carded last game, and what was it,
it's just
dissent
a
or
second
something?
card.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
okay.
carded out.
I thought it was something
not
like
even gonna be close.
like David Perron, you know.
It's over. Hasn't even started. Like Liverpool's winning by at least 2 goals.
Is that your lean?
No.
I just thought you seemed pretty confident in it, so I thought, is that an official pick?
It's not an official pick.
A sprinkle?
No, I'm not touching it.
You're a smart man, Maddie, and you're getting ahead of this one. You know
what's
you know
happening.
the storm
It's
to come.
On the road, no, it's not.
But with all of these things and all that stacked against you, you got to like your odds.
Not a chance.
Because that's how these things usually work, right? You're doing the
They have way too many injuries. Way too many guys missing.
So there's no chance here.
Ten Hag fired after this one?
No. Nor should they. Wow. He's only a year and a half on the job.
We're talking Manchester United Liverpool, by the way, unless people have we laid that out yet?
One of the most viewed sports club events in the world.
It's arguably the biggest.
Let's say that
one of the
eyes
top,
of the
it's
world.
a top 5 rivalry in the world.
Really?
Easily. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, United are 2 of the top.
Yeah, it's a big one.
They're 2 top 5s easily.
That's bigger than Red Sox Yankees?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, but on a national level, is it bigger than Flames Oilers?
Liverpool, United have upwards of 500 million people generally watch these matches. Upwards of potentially 1 billion people.
A billion people?
When these 2 teams meet.
It's a global event.
A billion people?
Yes.
What's that, like 14% of the population on the planet are going to watch? Is this a regular Premier League game?
Yep. They only played twice in the Premier League.
A billion people are going to, come on, Maddie. 1 billion people? That seems a little crazy.
Liverpool United will be a gong show premature. Congratulations to LTE. That comes in from Dolphin Nation. Thank you very much. I don't really want to start peacocking here. Because you never want to be doing that. Even if the deck is so stacked in your favor, right? You don't want to.
Well, could it be a trap game? You never know.
I don't think.
Did you confirm this billion people
keepered?
I'll be very impressed. It seems like ridiculous.
Half a bill is generally what you will get.
Okay, half a bill.
Half a bill.
That's 500 million less than your original estimate.
I said it could get upwards.
I don't see 1 billion people watching a regular Premier League game.
It's
you know?
a big. It's a big.
I'm not debating with your all-time rivalry discussion. I'm
When
just saying
these
1
2
billion
teams
people sounded
meet,
crazy.
It can be a big deal, and it's not always Premier League. They could meet in a Champions League,
Cup,
arguably.
That exaggeration reminded me of a time where my so I had two of my cousins, a brother and a sister, and the sister went to UBC, and the brother, he operates cranes now. He's a good dude.
That's a good
But but I remember the one time we were sitting there it was probably around Christmas time. 20 years ago, we're like, oh yeah, where's Christy at? And he's like, oh, she goes to UBC. I was just like, oh yeah, that's a pretty big school. He goes, yeah, there's like 1 million people there. I said, what do you mean? And he's like, there's like 1 million people at UBC. I'm like, do you mean like the city of Vancouver? He goes, no. UBC has like 1 million people. I was like, come on, man. Like, I'm pretty sure the University of British Columbia doesn't have 1 million people enrolled.
Tracked over the year, you could say, like, yeah, 1 million people have. Would you know Ten Hag for Zidane today?
No. 700 million people watched it a few years ago.
So that's halfway from the.
That's still 300 million shy of 1 billion, though. Right? It's not like you're like, oh, it's almost there.
This is like Otani money. We're not. Like, what's
exactly,
100 million? 100 million here, 100 million there.
These two teams will meet again. Here's the thing about Zidane. He hasn't done anything besides that Real Madrid.
No, I know. Yeah, no, but I'm just thinking.
Are you guys talking about the Zidane?
You see the big shiny thing in the window, maybe.
No. There's a time where you have to let this new manager.
The guy.
You have to let this manager sit for a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you. I just people want to know. There are lots of people in the.
Look what happened with Arteta and Arsenal.
Oh, sure.
Exactly.
Well,
what happened there?
They could have fired him years ago, but they stuck with
I
him.
thought that was another team name. I get so confused with the names. I never know.
Last year, Arsenal, competed for the title. Right now, we're competing again for the title. They stuck around. They stuck with someone.
You're betting in. You want to.
Well, Mr. Lean, do you have something here? Have you been looking
what's tomorrow?
Looking at the board?
It's the greatest time of year. It's the beginning of the greatest time.
Does bowl season start tomorrow?
It's bowl season.
Bowl season
There
starts
is
tomorrow.
nothing better at Christmas time than watching outside of watching Dusty Call Spangler Cup. There's nothing better at Christmas time than college football bowl season.
Late on
nothing.
Late on.
I thought it didn't start till the Pop-Tart Bowl on the 29th.
What do we got? The Citronella Bowl tomorrow?
We got lots. We got the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl.
Avocados from the one place.
You got Cricket Celebration Bowl. You got the Myrtle Beach Bowl, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. You got the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. You got the Starco Brands LA Bowl, and you got the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl.
Man,
of action.
Tomorrow is going to be
college football starting at 9 a.m. It goes all the way. The last game kicks off at 7:15. It is a great time of the year, the best part of Christmas season.
Did you say the Cricket Celebration Bowl?
Yeah. The Cricket Celebration.
So is that a sport sponsoring a bowl game?
No, I think Cricket is a mobile company. Is it
Oh.
not?
And that LA
Cricket
Bowl
Wireless?
is hosted by Gronk between UCLA and Boise State.
Oh, Gronk's there for the
Hosted by Gronk.
for
LA
Starco.
Bowl. Yeah, Starco Brands LA Bowl.
The LA
Brands,
Bowl
LA Bowl.
used to be the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl for the last
that the
couple
one,
years. Yeah, I believe that was.
How do you have a bowl game and let it slip away? You feel like if you're Jimmy Kimmel, you want to hang on
It's
to
like
that.
a sports
You wanna
season
know
ticket,
something?
right?
Yeah.
We need to get the EST Bowl game.
Come on, we could.
Would be
the MAC is crying out for it, right? Sunbelt Conference, right? I'm sure we could weasel our way in there.
So I'm going to the LA Bowl, actually, the Starco Brands. UCLA, Boise State. UCLA had a rougher end to their season in the Pac-12, but they were looking like a really good team. They will be without a couple of coaches. They will be without a couple of players, as you are at bowl season. But them against Boise State, I'll take the Pac-12. Pac-12 was a pretty good conference this year. Give me leaning UCLA minus 4.5 points against Boise State. But so many good. You want to know something? I do like Ohio still winning without Rourke.
Yeah?
Against Georgia Southern. That's what I would look at, too.
And that would be the
Myrtle
what was
Beach
it?
Bowl.
The Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl.
No, that one's Miami, Ohio, Appalachian State.
Is that Rourke left his team? I know he's gone to Indiana.
I don't think he's
But
playing.
is he not playing in that game?
No, because he went into the portal and he's already committed. I think he's gone.
So you bailed on your team in the bowl game just to get into the transfer portal? I get it to help your draft status, but it seems weird to...
Yeah, I don't think he'd be there playing, no.
Huh.
You don't want to risk injury. That's what we see a lot now.
Yeah, but I understand that. But for those are guys who are like heading to the NFL
coaches
draft,
will
he's still
stay
playing
for their
another,
last game or something like that. That usually is a thing, right? You
Depends.
coach the final. Yeah.
Like the UCLA defensive coordinator's not.
Yeah.
Because he's going to USC.
But getting an injury for a player would be more, you'd understand the not playing.
What a wonderful time.
Okay, so officially the lean again. It's
UCLA -4.5.
Okay, and I'm gonna go to the Lakers Spurs game tonight, where it's Lakers -7 on the road against the Spurs. This is the rare where they play 2 straight games on the road against the same team. They were just in San Antonio 2 days ago. I'm going to take the under 234.5 points. Yeah. They hit the over this total 2 nights ago, but the Spurs scored 45 points in the fourth quarter.
Can they snap the 18-game losing streak?
That's not happening again.
Hey?
I just don't see them allowing the Spurs to score 45. You know who else didn't play in that game on Wednesday? The greatest to ever do it. LeBron didn't play in that game. He's a big driver of what they do defensively.
Big hat?
Yeah, no, it's the crown.
Oh, the crown.
It's the crown, right? It's the crown for being the GOAT, as he pops it on there. I saw a stat the other day. If somebody's going to come in and break his all-time scoring record, they'd have to play 15 and a half seasons, averaging 35 points per game. Good luck with that one. I'm having fun lately sliding in.
You can just sit on that little nugget right there. Hey, how about that?
Anyway, under 234.5 points tonight. In order to hit the over 2 nights ago, the Spurs scored 45 points in the fourth quarter, which I don't see happening again. So there you go. That is your Coolbet hotline of the day. Pat Gregoire from Coolbet is going to join us. Some of the Coolbet crew up on the Jumbotron, maybe the turning point of that game for the Leafs last night. Of course, a game that they still lost. So we'll get to that. Pat's going to pop by here around 7:45. When we come back, it'll be your local spin for United Sport and Cycle. As we are, is Pete Gregoire already here?
He's.
Well, we'll come to him next, and then we'll get to the United. We'll go to update. Come back with Pete Gregoire, and then we'll slide into the local spin. We got to look. We got the CFL boys here. We got to get into the Elks schedule as it was released yesterday as well. Let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda, and we'll come back, recap everything that happened last night in the world of sports with Pat Gregoire, including an NFL game that was not something you needed to watch all of, I guess. We can just
we don't
leave it there. Yeah, that's not a good one.
Start on the ice as the Oilers' win streak was snapped at 8 games last night, 7-4 at the hands of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Steven Stamkos with 4 goals. Andrei Vasilevsky stopping 53 of 57 shots faced. Oilers will wrap up 6-game homestand tomorrow night against the Panthers. Florida shutout last night in Vancouver 4-0. Kraken defeating Chicago 7-1. Minnesota topping the Flames 3-2 in a shootout. Blues double up the Sens 4-2 in the Leafs. They claw back from 5-0 down, scoring 5 straight in the third, only to lose in overtime 6-5 to Patrick Laine in the Blue Jackets. Thursday nighter, a weird one. Raiders absolutely destroy the Chargers 63-21. With the win, Vegas improved to 6-8. The Chargers fall to 5-9. Raps host the Hawks tonight in one of 8 games around the NBA, and the Oil Kings hit the ice this weekend for a pair at home. They'll welcome in the Swift Current Broncos tonight, and then play their final game prior to Christmas Sunday against the Regina Pats. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. He learned a while back that if he does not text 911, people do not return his calls, but people always return his calls because they think something horrible has happened to him.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
How dude. I'm your Huckleberry.
All right, there you go. Whale and the Wolf on a Friday morning. By the way, the boys are going to be on the hangout.
Yep.
Tuesday. Who's on today, Matty?
J Mill, EST Glue Guy, Tom Gazzola should be by, and Dan Grummett of formerly of Global and CTV.
I just love how you say Tom Gazzola should be by.
Without a pause.
It's
like this is a natural conversation. Like Tommy should be by. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if he rolls into work today.
Don't practice till noon. And he's got oil stream anyway.
He's got oil stream anyway, and we have a meeting this afternoon.
So I would
Christmas
think
family.
that he'll be here.
Yeah,
so,
I would think he'd probably.
Dan Grummett's going to be on.
Grumsy.
Yeah, that'll
you grew
be
up with him.
That'll be.
I grew up on the same street as him. Yeah.
Did you really?
Oh yeah. I was friends with his
kinda
little
neat.
brother. Yeah.
That's neat. I like that one.
They used to have birds in their house, like budgies, that type of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
It was clean. Like they kept it in the,
I don't
the
care.
cages and the everything.
Birds,
You wouldn't have a bird in the house.
No, birds.
You're not
No,
for it.
no.
What about
chance.
a parrot?
I wouldn't even have a hilarious
cockatoo.
parrot. I mean, if I was like,
Rabbit.
if I was like 45-year-old single man with like no kids,
That's what it would
I'd
be.
probably have a hilarious parrot. But I just
see you.
I couldn't. No, I can't
That'd
do
be
it,
something.
man.
You and a parrot, it would be.
I can't do that. Amish man is in it, says, or no, who's it? Yeah, Amish man says Tommy should be by on his own show. Today's guests on the hangout featuring Tom Gazzola, Dan Grummett, and Glue Guy Jay Milne in today.
No particular order.
No order at all whatsoever. You hit us up anytime 780-218-9999. Let's bring in. As somebody said, I got absolutely killed in betting last night, and it was tough. Our two parlays, the Lock Shop football partner parlay, we missed by an Eckler catch, and we hit 4 of the things we needed on the EST parlay, but we did not get the Oilers win last night. So that one kind of sucked a big one. Pete Gregoire was in the house for the Leafs comeback last night. Pat, how was that last evening?
Periods were awful, but the comeback was great. This Leafs team, I think I've come on this show to say this. Whenever they play bottom feeder teams, bet against the Leafs. They play down to their competition. Although that strategy almost wouldn't have worked yesterday, but for whatever reason, this team just can't get up for the lower end teams. But when they go up against some of the top end talent in the game, that's when they come out and play. So a really frustrating game. Obviously fun to be in the building for that crazy comeback. But you guys talk about how goaltending matters in the NHL. Boy, Samsonov was not good last night. Oh my God.
Mike Johnson pretty much just torched him today. So
like you don't need to be you don't need to be great. You don't have to, steal games. You just got to make the saves that you need to make. And he just did not do that yesterday. I thought he should have got yanked. Not too sure why Sheldon Keefe kept him in. But it is what it is. You can't spot a team 5 goals. It's the National Hockey League, right? I know you guys know it. Despite winning 8 in a row, now you guys lose 1 game. Your goalie doesn't look great, and now it's back to
oh yeah,
the sky's falling.
Full blown meltdown last night on the postgame show, man.
What are we doing here, guys? You guys are going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And I kind of like what Stuart Skinner said after the game. He's like, "Yep, that was on me. I didn't play great."
Yeah, he just straight up owned it last night.
It could always be worse.
He owned it.
Yeah. Patty, I have a feeling. I wish Dusty a happy 1-week anniversary on Otani jet, and for the Leafs to kind of suck you in last night and then hit you over the head.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks in a row running now. You guys out in Toronto have been clubbed over the head.
We get our emotions toyed with us too much.
Yeah.
This fan base of ours.
Used.
I don't want to get back into Otani, especially now finding out the circumventing of taxes, and I mean this.
And he can just leave. He can leave.
Yeah.
He can just opt out if people aren't there anymore. What a sweetheart deal, man.
The Dodgers needs to be investigated. This is not right.
I love it.
I would like to see somebody dive into it a little
Somebody
bit more.
should,
Like, there
yeah.
has to be
John
there has
Rosie.
to be something somewhere in that contract that's like, okay, this might be in the CBA and this might CBA, but how in the hell is this in the CBA? I mean, that could be something that you look at. Hey, is this a Christmas poker sweater you're wearing? What is this? Oh, Coolbet Christmas sweater. My God. Man, let us know where you ordered those. We could get some EST ones for next year, boys. That's a real good idea.
Our friends from Norway, they came to visit Toronto a couple weeks ago,
And they brought those.
dropped off
Damn.
They brought these. So yeah,
Norwegians,
I'll update them up.
Norwegians always have the best ideas. I've been saying it for years. Like that's absolutely
As a Finn,
incredible.
too, yeah.
Yeah, man. As a guy who pretends to be Finnish, I got a lot of respect for Norwegians. I just really do. Hey, by the way, so at what point was the Coolbet crew on the Jumbotron last night, and did it tie into like the turnaround to salvage a point?
Some people in the city are saying the game turned around the second Jake and Andrew were on the Jumbotron with their red Coolbet.
Yeah.
I think it was 5-0 at that point. It was the building was dead. People were leaving, and then next thing you know, Jake, Andrew on the screen, waving their polar bears on their sweater.
It was great.
And next thing you know, boom in the back of the net, boom back in the net, boom in the back of the net. If they would have put the guys back on the Jumbotron one more time, maybe they win in overtime. But c'est la vie.
Pat Gregoire with us from Coolbet on the show today. Lucky for you, you were at that game last night, so you didn't have to watch the Raiders and Chargers. As the Chargers, I mean, they just continue. This season just continues to completely unravel. What really pissed me off was we needed one more Austin Eckler catch, and he was indeed the target on that pick six from about 15 yards out. So that one really stung last night. But there's really no way to describe the Chargers, is there? Like, they're just a bloody mess.
I think it was Huss yesterday said they just like need to sim the rest of the season.
Yeah, you're done
to the end. Done, over. Brandon Staley, he should be fired almost. I'm surprised they didn't fire him at halftime.
I like last night. I think he was asked, like, do you think you should still have your job? And what was his quote? Like, yeah, these games happen. I was like, come on, dude.
No, they don't. Teams, this is the Raiders have been around forever. Like, and this is the first time they've scored 63 points, and Aidan O'Connell was their quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, this is not like this was the historic Dolphins offense that we saw put up 70 against the Broncos. This is a putrid, terrible 6-8 Raiders team, and they put 63 points on you. Like, what are we doing here, man? I get it. The Chargers are banged up. Herbert's hurt. Like, this is just lose every single game, get as good as a draft pick as you can, and hopefully, you bring in a different coach. Staley can't be back next year.
He can't be
There's
back
no
next
way.
year. There's zero chance of that.
Tough
happening,
look,
man. Like, none.
He's supposed to be this defensive guru, and like,
to be honest with you,
is awful.
To salvage his career moving forward, he should just acknowledge how brutal he is and quit. He should just be like, that's it. You haven't fired me yet. I'm out. I'm going to wait for another opportunity somewhere else in a lesser role because it's a joke.
Or he needs to go to the rehab of crappy football coaches that is the University of Alabama. Nick Saban takes him under their wing, and then people forget, look at what he's doing as an offensive coordinator. Look what he's doing as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing as a special team. And then they get hired again, and they're like, this guy does actually suck.
He had teams that perennially underachieved.
Next coach of the Cardinals in 5 years or something like that, right? Like, Patty, how excited do you boys at Coolbet get for bowl season? I know myself, Matthew Iwanek, we get in kicking off tomorrow in fine fashion with a full slate of games. Just if you want to let listeners and bettors know what's going on with Coolbet in terms of bowl season kicking off tomorrow.
Yeah, bowl season. It's the best season. You can get all the odds on every single game. I believe for some of the bigger bowls, we actually will be having player props as well. But yeah, it's so much fun. What do you have tomorrow? The Myrtle Beach Bowl, the Cricket Celebration Bowl, the RL Carriers New Orleans Bowl. I mean, if this doesn't get the blood pumping, what will? But in all seriousness, I love bowl season. I mean, for you guys, what's kickoff tomorrow? Like 9 a.m.
Yep.
Because I think it's an 11 a.m. kickoff for that Ohio Georgia Southern game. Now, mind you, it stinks. We're not going to get Rourke in that game, but I still, again, not all these games are going to be quality, but It's fun. They're always electric games. The thing from a betting perspective, now that the transfer portal is a thing, be aware, because some of these teams that maybe you've been watching all season long might not have a certain player, a star player, because they've entered the portal or they're getting ready for the draft. So that's something to go, excuse me, to kind of go in. The other thing too is like, be aware, some of these bigger programs that are having like letdown seasons and they go up against a team in a a mid-major or one of the group of 5 conferences, those bit more. I'm not saying always bet on the smaller programs, because sometimes there's a discrepancy in skill talent, but there's a lot of times like these big bowls actually mean something for some of the smaller programs, whereas let's say I'm trying to pull up what would be a great example here. Looking up, let's see here. I mean, tomorrow it doesn't really, none of these games really, I guess you could say UCLA, Boise State, maybe Boise State gets up for that, but we've seen Boise State get up for big bowl games in the past. But yeah, just a little tip, I guess, for betting these bowl games.
I guess
don't
Liberty,
bet the big brand.
Liberty in Oregon, right? Fiesta Bowl,
go.
maybe.
There you go.
Something to identify there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Oregon, you have that big emotional letdown. Almost get into the playoff. You lose the Pac-12 championship. How much gas do they have in the tank? And then a Liberty program that continues to just build and build and build their covering machine as well. That's something there. That's a great point. That's exactly what I mean there. Another thing as well, just because guys are entering the portal and they won't be playing, especially if it's quarterback, it's an opportunity for these guys to then show what they have for next year. So I know Notre Dame, Sam Hartman won't be in. So their backup quarterback, he's going to be playing. So just little things you got to note when going into bowl season for sure.
Patty, as always, buddy, really appreciate it. We'll talk to you on the Lock Shop a little bit later on today.
Awesome, boys. Can't wait.
There you go. That's P. Gregoire from Coolbet. You can find him on Twitter at P. Gregoire, and he does a lot of NLO work as a broadcaster with a TSN as well. And that sweater was on point, man.
It's very nice.
Real nice, Chris.
Not too loud and abrasive.
Yeah.
Like, it is just the perfect mix of Christmassy.
Man, you think we can get EST Christmas sweaters next year? I almost like the blue and yellow, like Snoop at the Super Bowl. That'd be sick.
I don't know where they got theirs from, but Whale and the Wolf did Christmas sweaters.
They did.
And I don't know if that went through the Hive or not. But I could talk to Chelsea with the Hive
products at
product marketing and see if they have anything next year that they could help us with on that.
I'd rather the bowl game, though. I'm telling you that idea. I know
well,
we've had some ideas.
Tube Socks at the 6 o'clock or Lager Bowl.
I mean, come on.
The other thing I always loved, this is back at the old place, me and Mark Spector had this for the Spec Show, but we should bring it here. There's the 2 sponsorships we would need then. One is bowl season. The other is a spring training outfield wall. Imagine your 2 faces in Dunedin, Florida, in like an outfield.
Maybe Otani would have
that would have gotten him over the line.
Yeah.
That's the other thing we need to spend some money on.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into this. It is the local spin for United Sport and Cycle. United just has this festive feeling going on there right now. They had a big skate sharpening display yesterday. Saw Barry and the hockey crew in their sweaty gear getting their skates done with sparks. It looked like a pretty good time.
Doesn't hurt too when your primary color is half of Christmas. I mean, they got the red already.
It really helps.
You mix in a little green around there, and you're decorating is it's
very simple.
Easy.
They really only had to bring in green decorations because there's so much red all over the place.
Yeah.
But if you have any Christmas shopping that you need to do, you'll do, and you'll feel festive when you go down to United Sport and Cycle. They've been your home for the holidays, your home for hockey, your home for sports for 95 years in this community. We do have a $50 gift card to United Sport and Cycle. 'Tis the season to get a gift card and go on down and do some Christmas shopping. So stick around for that. We'll get into a little bit of CFL schedule trivia on the local, well, not even schedule trivia, but on the local spin.
Before we get away with it, nice job on the release.
What'd you think?
Elks video.
I thought I did a decent job with it.
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you
I
want
just
me to
voiced
say?
it. Like, was the voicing okay?
Well, it's going for the SNL thing, and I'm
I
not
was
an SNL
trying.
guy. And
you're not an SNL guy.
But I think if you just did
but
it
you
yourself,
still beat Tommy in the draft.
If you just did it, you doing it, I would have gotten it.
Yeah.
But I think you were trying to impersonate.
I was trying to
the
impersonate
thing,
the
which is
SNL
fine.
guy.
I mean, but
like,
look, it went off good. I
BC
like
Lions, like that type of thing. That was actually probably better than any of the ones I recorded. Damn it.
No, a couple
Should've saved
cafe
that clip.
lattes, right?
Maybe that's what it was.
Missing.
Anyway, I thought the CFL did an amazing job with their schedule release across the league.
Yeah.
And, of course, I'm a league guy.
Yeah, the Shield.
Love it. But I thought some of the videos were absolutely hilarious. I even like the fact that the Lions and Argos ended up doing the same schedule release video, which works out well, and I'm not sure it wasn't planned because it creates a little bit of a rivalry, and guess who plays in week 1? The BC Lions and the Toronto Argos. We'll dive into the Elks schedule here. But yeah, week 1, and this is a local spin for United Sports Cycle. We're going to take a look at the Elks schedule. Week 1 in the Canadian Football League, I really like this. You get a Grey Cup rematch on Thursday night to start the season. Alouettes, Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. Calgary hosts Hamilton, and if Bo Levi is still with Hamilton, which is kind of yet to be determined, but if Bo's still there, he's opening the season in Calgary, his return to Calgary. The Riders are coming to Edmonton, and then 2 Grey Cup contenders in the BC Lions and Toronto Argos meet. Nothing against the Ottawa Redblacks, but if you did have to leave somebody off the schedule, it kind of, it would
Without
be the
storylines
Redblacks
attached,
with these
yeah.
storylines
Yeah.
here. So I like the week 1 schedule. As for the Elks schedule, it opens up like this, and I know a lot of you Elks fans would have dove into this yesterday, but here's what Edmonton has this year. They're going to open at home against Saskatchewan on Saturday, June 8th. Week 2, the defending Grey Cup champions led by Cody Fajardo on that contract extension. And, of course, head coach Jason Moss coming in here on Friday, June 14th. So Alouettes in Edmonton. Then they go on the road for a couple. Week 2, 3, and 4, it's Montreal, Toronto, BC. That's a tough stretch. If the Elks can be 2-2 coming through their first 4 games, I think you have to be pretty happy with the start, don't you?
You then have a home and home with the Red Blacks, which again,
exactly.
we're looking out here a bit.
Because then
but
you
yeah,
go home and home with the Red Blacks after
You
that.
survive through that.
And then you're home against Hamilton.
Yeah.
Then you're on the road in Riderville.
Yeah.
So, there's a chance here that if you can somehow come through those first 4 games, that you could be above 500 by week 9. You could be looking at a 5-4 maybe by week 9. Who knows?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of positives to draw this. Of course, the Grey Cup rematch, a lot of people, wincing and grinding their teeth at not getting that last year, but this is nice. I think the Elks having a chance for a little revenge, albeit a year out hosting the Riders in that home opener as well. You then get to see the Grey Cup champs the following week. This is nice. It's nice to see. Plot it down. Plan your summer ahead. I don't know if you have you want the bye weeks. You're cool with that, right? Like how those were handed out. I guess specifically to the Elks. What do you got?
Yeah, I didn't think there was any.
It's not like you.
Yeah, their schedule doesn't actually have the bye weeks on it. It just says their schedule. Let me see here. Yeah, week 5 they have a bye week.
Yeah.
And then week 15 and week 20. So. Yeah, actually, that's not bad.
It's not
there's
bad.
a little stretch in the middle of the season there, but that's okay. That's
Right
what you want to
before,
kind
if
of
you're
get in
doing
a
a
rhythm.
playoff push, you get
I think
something
so,
there.
Yeah, no, I like the way that's shaped up. So they get through those first 9 games, 8 games, I guess, and then home to BC on August 11th. This is your summer schedule. On the road in Hamilton on August 17th. On the road in Montreal on August 25th. The back-to-backs with the Calgary Stampeders. That's the first time they play Calgary.
Then a bye after that. After that Labor Day and Labor Day rematch weekend, I guess you could say, which then you get into the stretch, right?
So they go back-to-backs with Calgary, then back-to-backs with Winnipeg, then the Riders again, then on the road in Calgary. And, boy, that's a really interesting
That's
stretch.
a stretch, yeah.
Edmonton at Calgary, Calgary at Edmonton, Winnipeg at Edmonton, Edmonton at Winnipeg, Riders at Edmonton, Edmonton at Calgary. And then they wrap the season with the Argos here on Friday, October 25th. Could be a chilly one. Maddie, what do you think of this schedule?
I love it. I'm
really like it.
I'm a big fan of Sunday games in the summer and stuff, and they get 3 of them at home, I think. Or there's a bunch of Sundays that they play. They only get the one Thursday. The bye weeks are spaced out quite nicely. I think it'll be a good schedule, and I will plan around that due to pre and post that will be happening here on Edmonton Sports Talk for those. So. I'll bring
that'll be good.
Green and Gold shows will kick off and post-game shows will return. They'll live here on Edmonton Sports Talk, so I'm excited for that. But, a tough start to the season for the Elks. See if they could...
Yeah, the defending champs and the Argos and the Lions. That's not easy.
We'll learn
those on the road.
We'll learn who the Elks are early.
And perhaps some of, or one of the most important things for Dave in Section T. This is a very tailgate-friendly season for the Elks and some summer holidays for my wife.
Good.
So if you're looking from that point of view as well, get the tailgating ramped up again for next season.
5 o'clock Sundays, like showing up at 3.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Oh, it's great.
Well, yeah. So I'm looking. Here's the summer skid. Let's just look at July and August, right, when the kids are out of school. So nothing the first week. They're on a bye in week 5. Week 6 at home, 5 o'clock start, Sunday, July 14th against Ottawa. That's the day that Cameron Poe saw his daughter for the first time, July 14th. It's also my wife's birthday.
The Poe Bowl.
Yeah. That's a big one. On the road on Friday, week 8 at home, Sunday, 5 o'clock. Week 9, Saturday, August 3rd, 5 o'clock start with the Riders. Week 10, Sunday, 5 o'clock start. Well, this is good for me. I'll be home on a lot of these Sundays. That's nice, actually.
The home game is
Saturday, August 17th, 5 o'clock start at Hamilton. August 25th, 5 o'clock start at Montreal. So their home games in the summer are Sundays at 5.
But it won't please everybody because Andrea chimes in, of course, the July 14 game and Labor Day rematch. We have the only 2 weddings of the year. That's how it works out sometimes, right?
Well, this is why you should schedule weddings after CFL release day.
You don't get married during CFL season. That's the golden rule.
I also took a quick look. So opening game for the Elks is the Sunday.
Yes.
Canada, Argentina, Copa America, if that happens, is on the Friday.
You're stacking it.
You could do there's room for me to fly to Atlanta, go watch that. Or is that Thursday? It's like a perfect time. Come back and get here for the Elks.
Are you planning on doing that?
If Canada's taking on Argentina, yes.
Wow.
I'm going.
You're going?
Yeah.
You're locking it in right now?
Yeah.
Are you as confident in that decision as you are that you'll be spinning the wheel at 8:20 today to determine our draft order for the Christmas draft?
It's like 85% I'm going to Copa America to watch Canada, Argentina.
I think so.
I want to go see Messi.
This is the deal. You don't allow him to go. Yeah.
Maddie, you got to work that day.
No, not a
You
chance.
got to work that day.
Not a
Unless
chance.
if you want to spin the
Not a
wheel
chance.
today,
Spin the wheel, you get to go to
you can
the
have
game.
those days off. What do you think?
Nope. I'll just go. Fire me.
Whoa. Nobody ever wants to get fired over a soccer game, dude. I'm sorry. It's just, or any sporting
This one,
event.
I get to go see Messi, and it's Canada.
So you're going to schedule this while you're supposed to be working.
All right, here's a little trivia question that we got for you.
Before you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. I could do it after.
Okay, the local spin, we got to get to. This is such an easy one. Even the haters of the league would answer this one. How many regular season home games do the Elks have on their schedule? That's all you have to answer. Text it in. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Lieutenant Eric will grab somebody. They'll be in touch, and you will win a $50 gift card to United Sports Psych. You just have to swing by, grab it, boom, off and running. Go do some Christmas shopping at your home for the holidays with sports and lots of fun stuff. They got their 12 days of Christmas going on right now. It's a different deal every single day leading up to Christmas, so that's pretty good as well.
The Hive would do ugly Christmas sweaters.
We've already got that confirmed.
Lucas texted me saying the Hive will do it.
What a partnership.
Hive product marketing.
So we can have those ready by next week.
Yeah, that one won't be happening.
Next year, though. We have to do Christmas sweaters next year.
So
Can we make them like the Snoop Dogg ones?
You guys
from
can
the
figure
Super
that one
Bowl
out on
with
your
that
own
blue
one
yellow?
side.
It would be so.
I won't be here after the summer, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're out. You might not be here after today if we don't spin that damn wheel. All right, if you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, you can hit us up right now, 780-218-9999. We've got a gift card, Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Text Maddie. Let him know that you want to play. He will choose one of you. You will play Kind of Easy Trivia coming up. We've got 3 questions too many on the way. We do have to determine the order to select the draft picks for the Christmas draft. We'll do that. Coming up in hour number 3. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week as well. Scott's going to be by. And we got some 6 o'clock or logger questions that have rolled in that we're going to toss into 3 questions too many here as well. But if you want to play kind of easy trivia, 780-218-9999. What are you laughing at?
Kevin Starrett. Maddie in Atlanta smells like a CFL Fantasy Commissioners Summit.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
We get some like 3-star, 2-star motel or something.
You're going to have the OG and Matthew Wannick and the guy who has changed the game in Kevin Starrett.
We'll rent out a big conference room.
Yes.
At the Atlanta Airport Hotel,
Yeah.
one of those. But yeah,
omelet chef.
Room way too big for us, but it's just the two of us having a nice chat.
But a full spread.
Full spread all weekend long. Booked out, yeah.
Yeah, all off of Dunya and Cavis Reed membership fees. That's how it works. A real scam we got going on here. All right, let's get to a sports update for United Sport and Cycle as well. 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia. Beer of the week. Would you start Pickard on Saturday?
You've already been into the beer of the week, have you?
How's that for a drug? We'll get into that as well, and we will determine this draft order some way, shape, or form for the draft on Wednesday. That's coming up.
Edmonton Oilers goalie last night. They fall 7-4.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Andrei Vasilevsky stopping 53 of 57 shots faced. Oilers fall 7-4 to the Lightning, snapping their 8-game win streak. The Oilers will wrap up their 6-game homestand tomorrow night against the Panthers, who were shut out last night in Florida 4-0 by the Canucks. Kraken defeating Chicago 7-1. Mini over Calgary 3-2 in a shootout. St. Louis double up Ottawa 4-2 in the Leafs. They fall in overtime 6-5 to Columbus. How about this Thursday night? Are the Raiders destroying the Chargers 63-21? The win moving Vegas to 6-8. The Chargers fall to 5-9. Raptors and Hawks tonight, one of 8 games around the NBA. And the Oil Kings back on the ice tonight. They welcome in the Swift Current Broncos. The club will then play its final game prior to Christmas on Sunday when they host the Regina Pats. Christmas has arrived at United Sport and Cycle. Need something for an athlete or sports fan on your list? United has been your Santa's workshop for over 95 years.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Friday morning rolls along. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the nasty chat. The Edmonton Oilers losing last night to the Tampa Bay Lightning in a game that looked like they were just going to power their way through. And then Stuart Skinner happened in the third period and then end up losing that hockey game. First loss in quite some time. Could not tie the franchise record yet. Lots of games left in this season. Glass half full guy over here.
Look at you go.
Yeah, we'll see how this one works out.
A shining beacon in a city of darkness this morning. Go to the light.
Everything will be okay. Yes. Everything
Moths
will
to the
be
flame.
okay. Smitty the Welder says, goalie by their own goalie.
Yes.
That's right. So this guy,
Well, you brought in the
sneaking
definition.
that in. You got me.
When
you got
people
me
say
good.
they got goalie, well, there's 2 goalies. Sometimes, there's 2 goalies on the ice at any given time, so you can be goalie by your own. I think
I
that's
know everybody wants to say, oh, they got goalie. They scored 4 goals. Vasilevsky was brilliant. They still scored 4 goals on that dude.
They got
that
goalied
should be
by
enough to
Skinner.
win the game.
Skinner
They got
admitted so
goalie
much.
because their goalie completely crapped the bed in the third period. Now, am I sitting here today being like, you can't run with this guy? You got to get somebody else. No, because you're not going to get anybody else of significance that's significantly better than Stuart Skinner. It's an impossible dream. Stop living it. But could you get an upgrade so that maybe he plays a little bit less?
Oh,
I
love how your tone
I'm
just
talking on
drops
the
with
back
that.
end. Yeah,
But actually, could you?
It's a roller coaster of emotions.
We're not going to fire him into the sun.
No, you're not going
Could
to
you
fire
get somebody to
assist.
assist?
But maybe get a veteran that was supposed to be like Jack Campbell, but like way
Yeah,
cheaper and
swing
better.
and miss, yeah.
Maybe that's something you could do, and maybe Pickard's that guy.
Maybe.
I mean, you got to get another look at Pickard, and if he has 2 games in a row that are good, then you can maybe go, okay, he can relieve him a bit. Is he a guy that you're going to hand the net to in the postseason? Hell no.
Olivier Rodriguez. Why don't you have the 2 backups like they used to, right? Go to the 3 goalie system again.
The old 3 goalie system. What was it? It was Dubnyk, Delorier. Was there a third goalie when Dubnyk and Delorier were together? For some reason, I'm feeling like there might have been, but maybe I'm wrong. 780-218-9999.
Get it in there.
Yeah. I think there was a third guy around. but I'm not
Mike
sure.
Morrison was. I
No,
don't think that
Morrison
was
was
that
in a
time. I think it
different
was
three-man.
earlier.
Yeah, he
I
was
think that was
earlier.
more Matthew Garon.
La Barbara
era.
No, I don't know. For some reason, I felt
They're
like
all
there was a
melding
third,
into
another
one,
one in there.
the
Yeah.
Fausts of the world.
Somebody might let us. Somebody might let us know. All right, who is playing kind of easy trivia today? Who do we got?
We've got Michael on the line.
Michael is going to play today, looking to get his hands on a gift card to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, casualest place ever, corner of Hampton. Well, it's in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. What's the sirloin bites? Number 7?
Seven sirloin bites,
Seven
which is a
sirloin
good.
bites.
They give you more on the plate, but just
Yeah,
for the
you
purpose
definitely
of the
get
song.
more than
yeah,
7,
yeah.
but for the song, it really works. All right, let's go to Michael today, trying to get 3 out of 5 correct. Mike, you ready to go?
Let's go. It's a Friday, baby.
Oh, yes. Oh, man, you better get this one. Here we go. I'll start the ticker after I read the first question. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
How many goals did the Oilers allow last night?
7.
Which player on the Lightning had 4 goals?
Stamkos.
Which NFL team scored 63 points last night?
Las Vegas Raiders.
Which football league released its schedule yesterday?
CFL.
How many teams are in CFL?
I'm going to love those sirloin bites.
This guy's nuts.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year we took it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Michael would spin the wheel.
I 100% Michael would
that
spin the
wheel.
wheel. Michael would do whatever he needs to do to be a part of what we're building here at Edmonton Sports Talk, right? We have a Christmas draft set for Wednesday, which will be hosted by illustrious former commissioner Matthew Iwanek. Went out on his own terms. He'll be hosting that pre and post. Our new commissioner, Quinn Phillips. Long live the Quinn. She will be overseeing the selections. And today, on this show, we will determine the order, I hope, of which we will be choosing our picks or our chairs, one or the other in this draft. Matt Iwanek, in the 6 o'clock hour, you did say that you were not going to spin the wheel for us, which for a guy who walked away on his own, it's weird that you would hold this grudge against us, right? Because
It's also weird how you guys keep trying to pull
We
me
didn't
back
fire
in.
you.
I was 100% retention. I was on the campaign to bring you back, actually. And
You guys
I took your resignation letter. I said, no,
trying
thank
to
you.
bring me back.
Matt, we're going to need
Take
you to
your
set up
shots. You keep calling me names and stuff.
We've
I'm
not
getting
called you a
bullied into
single
this.
name.
I'm getting
What name
disgraced
have we called you?
commissioner. Just
That
keep
was
it.
from the
No,
inbox.
you guys just keep doing that.
That was we're supposed to
I'm being
ignore all
bullied
messages.
into doing this.
I want you back.
I'm being bullied into doing this.
More Maddie.
I'll do it as bullied into it.
Oh,
that's
what?
cool.
Okay.
You and the listeners are
you
bullying
doing this
me.
under protest?
I'm not gonna go there because I'm not you guys in that way. You guys just have bullied me into this. You and the listeners are bullies, and I hope you guys know that I'm going into the
Oh my
weekend
God.
miserable because you bullied me into doing something I don't want to do.
Are you going to be hosting from a miserable perspective?
No.
Okay.
No.
You've got commissioned, maybe.
That's what ended up happening. So we are going to spin the wheel. Well, this is exciting.
Bullies.
He's doing it on. We're bullying him in
Bullies.
to spinning the wheel to determine.
Could have planned this yesterday. Could have planned this for Monday.
Why do we need to plan it yesterday?
Well, when I'm
always
not
a
here.
Friday thing,
When
right?
I'm not here. It's not always a Friday thing. Last time we did it was during the middle of the week. But you guys made sure you did it so I was here so you guys could bully me.
But
You're bullies.
But now here you are.
Bullies.
So desperate to get back involved. You're spinning the wheel for us.
This is a good
This
poll.
is incredible.
Pat Maroon's bib. Maddie going full Jordan Cairo here. No comment. I'm not your commissioner. We haven't even gotten to that yet, but yeah. They were saying Cairo, not boo, right?
Johnny Alberta says the bitterness on all sides is palpable, even through the YouTube video.
Well, and there's no bitterness here. Again, I'm all for
full
love
retention.
and life, full retention. I love the commish. I had my gripes, but I mean,
You got up and walked out. You're the only one who didn't fully draft.
Some solidarity, hey? But that I had to do that for my own. I couldn't look myself in the mirror if I didn't do that.
My God.
No, I'm all for it. We don't want to.
All right, well, we'll see.
Spin the wheel,
We're
man.
going to spin the wheel here around
Spin the wheel. Well, Matt's gonna spin the
8:20-ish,
wheel.
8:25. Well, yeah, let's set the wheel up. I could see him doing something sketchy with the wheel and rigging it.
Oh, now, yes.
Can we trust the former commish
that we are bullying
to
into
spin the wheel properly?
And would that be our fault?
I don't think it would be our fault. VR Montenegro says, screw it. Make him spin on Monday, Matty. But then, Matt's not the commissioner anymore. He doesn't make these decisions. He's the producer of the morning show today, and we need to spin the wheel on the show. That's just how it works.
We'll see how much longer I'm the producer of a morning show.
You're going to get up and walk out today?
Wow, I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
Just after today, right?
I don't know next
This
time
will be
I'm
the
going
last
to be
time
in.
we see
I
you
don't
on the
know
morning
next
show.
time I'm going to be in.
So let's spin the wheel as friends and commissioners and draftees and ex-commissioners and guys who've won drafts. And, let's just do that today. That sounds like a good time. D. White says, stop bullying Matt. It's Christmas.
Yeah. Thank
It's
you.
no bull-
Thank
I'm
you.
not bullying
We
here.
want to. We're giving him the opportunity to spin a wheel, which Michael on kind of easy trivia. I'm sure most
He
of
would
the
love
nasty
to.
chat this morning would.
And if I
we
said-
could auction
Give it
this off for
limb.
$500.
Box
Okay.
Powder would give us left nut to spin
I'm
the wheel
not
this
going to
morning.
do it. You guys can get someone else to do it right now.
Box Powder's left nuts back in play now, too.
I know.
Because they didn't win 10 in a
If
row.
I said no right now, what would you guys? You guys all day saying you need me to do it. Now I say you're bullying me
Well,
into doing
it's
it.
too
So I
short. It's
agree
too-
to
there's
do
not
it.
enough time now to bring
So I
somebody else in.
agree to do it, and now you guys are like, we could get someone else. We could do this all.
No. We're just saying that people would give
want the
a limb
opportunity,
to
Matty.
do this, and you're kind of
That's it.
saying
all we
it's not a
say.
big deal.
That's all we say. We'll spin the wheel at your leisure around 8:20 today. At your leisure.
It's not at my leisure. Then you're forcing me.
It's at all of our leisures. All right, let's get into 3 questions for Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where dealer principal Mitch Lewicki wants to let Jordan Cairo know that there's always room for him at the dealership. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
Do you have a Twitter account?
At Lieutenant_Eric, you can follow on Twitter, as well as our station account at YEG Sports Talk. Give us a follow. I'm also on the Instagram app at Lasagna Enthusiast, and Edmonton Sports Talk as well on the Instagram app. At Edmonton Sports Talk. So
At Edmonton Sports
lots
Talk on
going on.
Insta,
Yep.
YAG Sports Talk on Twitter.
Yeah, and give our Facebook page a like as well. Lots of stuff going on there. We are on the TikTok, the YouTube. I mean, it's all over the place. You might as get it all. Subscribe, hit the subs, hit the likes.
Everything we do does get posted on Facebook, right, too? Like all the shows and stuff.
Yeah, it's all. It's just different.
No, that was good.
Yeah.
All right. Hangout today coming up. Dan Grummett, Jay Milne, and Tommy should be by. By the way, Jasmine yesterday.
And me.
Oh, no, but you're there all the time.
Yeah,
It's
just don't.
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and then don't throw my name
my
out there.
goodness. Oh, my
It's these
goodness.
other 3. Maybe I won't show up for that show. I don't have to now. You've given me the day off.
I do like how Tom's last name now is Should Be By. We are joined by Tommy Should Be By.
Jay Milne, Dan Grummett, and Tommy should be by.
You should be inducted
on the
in
Hangout today with
Italian
Matty
Sports Hall of Fame or something like
Yeah,
that. Right?
yeah, my goodness.
You
Anyway,
say
hey,
something about Jasmine.
I just want to say, Jasmine was awesome yesterday.
She was, but she texts in.
Yeah, she said she didn't have time to go to Seductions after.
Yeah.
What?
She also says at 8:10, I also changed my mind and think it's weird that Maddie hasn't eaten the hot chicken in a matter of days and froze it for this long. Sorry, Maddie. I don't know if that's something discussed on the Hangout yesterday. I was not in the room.
We heard parts of that, I think. Maddie, do you want... So, in my mind, here's how it works. You have a frozen chicken tender
Not a tender.
in your freezer.
Not a full bird, though.
And you
Not a tender.
take the tender out like once every 4 months, and you after you've had a really good day and you're celebrating.
No.
And you cut a
none
small
of things
piece.
like that.
I wish it was like that.
That's what we've imagined.
It was already. It's like shredded chicken. Because like.
So what do you do with this
some
chicken?
pieces. I'll throw it into some other chicken.
you've
or something at
shredded
some
it
point.
and then
and it's
you-
only been like a few months. Hasn't been years or anything like that.
So you still that's okay still in the freezer like 4 or 5 months.
But you shredded
Yes.
it and then put it in there? So now it's
Well,
a
like because
shredded and then you-
we like other people ate it, so we kind of like cut it up and stuff. And
I'm generally
How much
interested
are we talking?
because
A small bag, or is it like one of those little bags with drugs in it?
Like a zip,
Like what do they call them? A
it's
taste
in a little
baggie.
Tupperware container.
Oh, it's a little Tupperware container. Huh. And then you mix a small piece of it in to
I
spice
just
up
have
other
it
foods.
into just some other chicken or something every so often, just to get that little.
I just wish it was the.
I really like the idea of a chicken tender.
What do we get?
I'm still going to say that's
You've
how
earned
it
it.
is.
None of that is like the way you guys sold it yesterday is not even at all accurate.
But why can't it be?
Because it didn't happen.
But you could say that it happened.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Really?
Again, more bullying.
No.
Jasmine now jumping in on the bullying too. That's cool. Thanks, Jasmine.
Big Maple says, I heard chicken keeps well above the Edmonton skyline.
That's 25 floors up.
We'll see if Jasmine ever has another appearance on the Hangout now.
Who's bullying now? Who's
It's not
bullying now?
As the host of the show, I can make those decisions.
Kevin Starrett says, you go, Maddie. You tell that rubber-booted wheel spinner to kick rocks. Kev, you're our commish.
That's
I'm in
commish-
your league.
This is commish solidarity.
I'm
right
in
now.
your
That's what you're
league,
witnessing.
dude.
These
This
guys
is-
are a
this is
level
a low
above.
blow. D. White says, hostile work environment. Send in your complaint.
Oh, it's going
the
to
last
HR
thing I
Daddy.
need. I do not need
It's going
HR
to HR Daddy.
Yeah, well.
We'll have a nice chat after my show today.
HR Daddy's power is a facade.
You guys have 3 questions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got a
let's
cracking
go.
pack, too, here.
Question number 1. Hey, guys, do you think Maddie's going to spin the wheel?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he probably will.
Next question.
Question number 2. Do you guys think any other goalie will end up getting playoff starts for the Oilers?
Playoffs?
Playoff starts. Playoffs?
Playoffs. No,
Playoffs?
You got to get a wild card position first.
Well, look, Skinner was not good in the playoffs last year, and nobody else got another start.
Perhaps Olivier Rodriguez are Aiden Hill.
Man, you got to stop talking about Olivier Rodriguez.
Why not? Why?
I
Why?
don't see him
Well,
saving
in the
the
spirit
day.
of the question, I mean, no, not saving the day, but okay, but to your point, they're not going out and getting anybody else, so it's either between your options are Skinner, Pickard, or Rodrigue.
Well,
or what?
Or they trade or
but
Jack
that's-
Campbell. You didn't even mention Jack Campbell.
You gotta stop
You are
with
such
your
a
Jack
glass
Campbell
half full guy when it comes to this team.
Because it's something from within, right?
I am going to say, and this is a lot of you might say, Dusty, this is a hell of a thing for you to say to me. How lewd. I will say that they will have another goaltender who's not currently on the roster who gets to start a game or two in the playoffs. But this is Stuart Skinner. This is Stuart Skinner's ride right here.
Name the name.
I'm not naming names.
Oh,
I'm not naming
you
names.
Can't just.
I'm just throwing out the. I'm not naming names. Come on. RCN says Dusty talking about drugs is one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it's
I watch lots of TV shows that put drugs. I know a lot about drugs.
Yeah.
You transfer things in bricks and stuff like that, and you can put them in gym bags, and people think, oh, it's gym clothes, but it's lots of drugs. So I know lots about that stuff.
Washing money, like the
washing of the money.
funds,
Yeah. Question number 3. This one actually came in, I think, on the Nasty Chat earlier. Maybe it was in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Hey, guys, when we'll be able to get the 6 o'clock or lager on any establishments around the city? And it's a great question. And thank you very much for asking it. I do know that Alley Cat has now been having discussions with a few of our partners and some friends of mine about getting it. I got a text from one of my buddies yesterday. He goes, just met with Alley Cat. The kegs are on the way. So I would think by probably February, you might be able to see it on tap at the odd place, which is just another step in taking over the liquor world,
Yeah. And with your extensive knowledge on kind of the drug game, this is what you do. It's like a deal, right? Your deal is in place.
Oh,
you
there's deals in place.
You have the person with the stuff, and then you have the other person, and then you kind of come together. And
YouTube Trev is meeting with somebody at 11:30 p.m. in the Seductions parking lot, which does have parking for semis. So
trailers and everything.
Yeah, somebody's gonna bust us at some point. Edmonton Sports Talk is nothing more than a front for my hilarious drug racket.
Yes. And
that I run.
Bones suggesting Atif is our mule.
Well, I mean, sneaking bevies into the game once in a while. I mean, what
Bold
are you
move.
gonna do? So yeah. Anyway, it's like early 2024. You could possibly go get 6 o'clock or lager on tap at select locations. We have a meeting today. Let's not say with who, but we have a meeting today where we're gonna try to get the 6 o'clock lager in there, too.
I just want to see the physical tap. I want to walk into a bar and see a big conch shell with this big wooden tap. And
You think it's because it's our beer we can go behind and pour ourselves one?
I would say so.
I would think that's probably a rule.
Lips on the tap.
I
I
would
think
think,
you can get right in there.
Not to compare ourselves to Molson just yet, but I would think Molson guy probably can go behind the bar at a place and pour
Jeffrey
himself
Molson?
a-
Yeah, I'm
a
Jeffrey
pint.
Molson. Sir, please help yourself.
Yeah.
It's
I
your
think
beer.
so. That's probably the case. So we got that going for us. Let's do Matty, where are we at on the availability of the wheel? Are we like 5 minutes away?
Maybe
about
we
5
can
minutes?
crack a
That's
pack
what I was
while
going
we-
to say.
yeah,
Can we crack some packs and then we can get to the wheel. Let's do that. Crack Pack Christmas continues with Wayne's Sports Cards.
If you see a card store on the side of the road, you think, gotta tweet it to the Crack Pack! Crack Pack, yeah, yeah. I'm tracking down all the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. I got me a card, it's a heck of a pull, and we're tweeting it out to the Crack Pack. I got me a canvas, it's worth about 20, so hurry up and sell it to get more money. The Crack Pack is a little old gang where we can crack together. Crack Pack, baby. A Crack Pack, baby.
All right, Crack Pack, ready to roll. A text from Redbeard, too, who I guess is on his way in here. He says they will have 6 o'clock or lager on tap in 3 of their Edmonton area growler bars at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. So you can go in, get it on tap, fill up growler. Ooh, boy.
That's not bad. We're getting there, right? It's a start.
All right, here we go. 15 on our calendar. We're going to be busy next week with the event. Ooh, what do you got? I got
2023.
2017-18
Series 1.
Upper Deck Series 1. Let's go. Let's get a banger young gun
Let's
here.
do
Let's
it.
go.
Friday
Let's-
morning? Come on.
For the crew,
Come on.
right?
Clayton Keller. Oh, and I got a Connie Mack, but it's that face.
It's the one
that,
that, yeah. No, I got tons of those ones.
Brinkat.
Grabner, Dubinsky,
Alex
Jake
Newhook,
Gensel.
rookie retrospective.
I got a young gun here, I think. Nope, maybe not. Nope.
Carter Hart.
Brad Marchand, Mitchie Marner, Braden Holtby,
Troy Terry.
Patrick Berglund. Remember Berglund? Patrick Berglund was pretty steady for a while. And Nick Holden. So Holden, Berglund, Holtby, Mitchie Marner, Jake Gensel, Dubinsky, Grabner, and Brad Marchand today. And that's that Connor McDavid card. Beautiful there. There he is. You just texted us.
Hey, Scott.
Now you're here. That's weird. So the Advent, it may be weird to hop in the Advent game now because it's halfway through the month, but they got a bunch of other like Christmas boxes that you can get, some mystery packages, and I've been meaning to pop by Wayne's. I do want to try to take a run at that Brady card. I'm not a big
You
like
gotta have at
Bowman
least one-
baseball draft
one
guy, but
swing
I
at
wouldn't
it,
mind
hey?
taking a run at the Brady card.
Lots
That's
of
for
Lego
sure.
though as well there for different people in your life and for collectors as well. Like everybody needs like a binder and sleeves and stuff, right? For collectors, like you can never have enough of that stuff.
Oh, there's a ton of stuff. I have
collector in your life.
I have
Go
so
there and
much
load
stuff.
up for them, right? Like
And for all of the Crack Pack folks, Crack Pack will return in January. It's just been busy. I'm prepping for Spengler. It's been very tough because I've got like 9 boxes, like SPX, like good stuff, like Ultimate, Premier, like sitting down on
sitting
the
on
Crack
it.
Pack table.
Sitting on
and
it.
you do not know how many times I've gone down there and I've been like, huh. Like maybe I just, and that's a lot of money that I'm purchasing cards that just sitting there waiting to go out to the Crack Pack. But I've been sitting there and I was almost like, Merry Christmas to myself and just dive into like 10 boxes.
that's why you need the Brady thing to kind of exercise some
Yeah,
out of you.
I got to get a full,
you need the
full
chase.
box
You
break
need the
here at some point. We'll definitely
feeling it.
Definitely do that. All right, should we determine an order to draft? There it is. He's done it. I knew he'd come through. The disgraced former commissioner stepping up today and helping us out.
I believed in him all along.
You never stopped believing.
Never
in him.
a doubt.
Unbelievable. Do we have the sound of this, Matty? Will we
Bullies.
get the class?
Bullies.
I just
I don't
said
know if there's a sound or not. I'm not going to double check to make sure there's a
Matt,
full sound.
Can you do a
Let's
sound?
have a conversation here not as show hosts or producer, not as a host of the hangout and
Bullies.
guys who sit in
Titles
there
off.
sometimes,
Titles
not as a former commish and a couple of EST draft legends, but let's just have a conversation as Matt and Dustin and Eric.
Bullies.
Does it not feel kind of good
No,
to
it
get
doesn't.
that wheel up there? Come on, man.
It doesn't.
It must. All right, so how did we do this last time?
I don't care.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to spin the
You
wheel.
want me? I'm here to spin the wheel. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
Okay,
That's all I'm doing.
Matt, do you have any opinion on what we do here? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to spin the wheel. Whoever gets first will have first pick of where they want to pick in the draft. Or if they want to take the chair, they can take the chair.
Yeah.
That's big. And then we'll go 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, so you're not doing it the 4 and then
No, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Because now we're not
doing.
We're doing. Now you get to pick your pick, right? So
Fair enough.
Well, like you want to chime in on
No,
this
I
so
have nothing
badly.
to say.
I see your face.
I
You're
hope.
like,
All I know is I hope Quinn's okay with this.
Are we ready? This will be for the choice of pick in the Christmas movie character draft. Matt, any last things to say as a guy who has experience in the commish game on how this is being handled?
You guys are utter bullies. You and a select few listeners. Bullies.
A few listeners too.
This is actually
Bullies.
getting a little out of hand.
And
to
this
be
is
honest with
this
you.
is almost that reverse thing. Where
Yeah,
now,
I've-
like I'm going to.
I feel like I'm being bullied.
Yeah,
now.
we're like
I am not a bully.
We're not bullying at all, but you are very much misleading us here. And now our feelings are starting to get
Defamation.
hurt.
You could argue.
Yeah, defamation suit. Where's
You
HR?
need to sit a
Where's
little
HR
back.
Daddy
See
now?
you in court.
Also, Dusty, you need to sit a little back so you can be in the camera.
I'm on camera right now, right?
Well, you're leaning too forward. That's why I said sit back. You did. Sit back. Yeah, you're good.
just sit
You're
right here
good.
like this.
You're good.
All right, let's spin it. This is for whoever gets to pick where they want to pick. Here we go. Jay. It was almost Tommy. I was like, give Tommy the first
I
overall
love
pick.
that. The pressure
Glue guy
is
gets
on.
a pick now. Glue guy might take second.
Has he sat in the same seat for both? I think
Glue guy has been in the same
likes
seat
that
for both. He
Something
likes
to
the
watch
chair.
on. Something to watch.
He likes
yeah.
the chair. All right, so who will have the wow? Glue guy after 2 strong finishes too.
We'll
Two
get his
second
thoughts when he
places.
comes in for the hangout today.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh man.
Instant reaction.
Oh wow. Matt, are you gonna bring this up on the hangout today? You could actually see if Jay wants to where he wants to pick.
I don't care.
Well, maybe we'll have you ask it. All right, here we go.
You got Tommy there. Tommy could ask those
banana
questions.
split.
Let's put Tommy in the 2 hole because that would leave us in 3 and 4 in a real
I know,
juicy
yeah,
spot
yeah.
after Tommy takes the Park Rangers from Elf with the second overall pick. Here we go. Tommy
Tommy 2.
Tommy Gazzola.
To Tommy.
I kind of believe this to be a top 2 heavy draft.
Yeah.
And we'll see if Tommy lets one of them slide to us.
I'm fine by waiting in the reads here.
Okay, so
I don't mind,
so it's you and I now.
Yeah.
This is an interesting discussion because do you want to draft directly behind Tommy, or do you want to have the coveted 4-5 swing?
the 4-5 swing is huge. But we've said too in prior drafts, if you're around Tommy, you kind of get that. It's a two-pronged thing.
I think we're in good
He
spots.
takes the heat off your picks, and then you're kind of But the swing, man. 4-5.
The swing is nice. The swing is nice. Now there's still a chance that Tommy goes full Tommy here and doesn't take the second overall pick. If Tommy wants the 4-5 swing, he could do it. I mean, if Glue Guy wants a 4-5 swing, he could do it.
Putting that pressure of Tommy to now pick what he wants, but be it the pick or the seat.
I think what we can say is that Tom and Glue Guy are significant favorites in this draft now after this spin. All right, it's interesting how a guy who's referred to us as bullies all day doesn't spin either of us in the first 2. What are the odds of that?
People are talking.
All right, let's spin it. This is for the 3rd pick. Let's see where we want to go. Maybe you go chair at this point.
Yes. Take it out of my hands. I don't want any.
I wanted that 4-5 swing. I
Love it.
All right. Well, all right, shotgun next to Tommy again. Actually,
Hark the herald
wait a
angels
second.
sing.
I can pick the 4-5 swing.
If it, yeah.
I guess I
down,
could.
yeah.
I could
And
take-
we're doing the last spin there just to make
so
it official.
Eric's
yeah.
there, so you'll have the 4th pick, so you'll go wherever.
I don't pick
totally
anything.
forgot.
I
guess
don't pick anything.
I could
right?
take
Like
the 4-5
I'm
swing.
left with whatever comes to me, which is
Well, I got
eliminates
a
the whole
decision to make now.
Yeah, see, I don't have any. I can live free and easy this weekend. Phone's on though, if you still want to deal.
Man.
at all.
So I guess we got to get this locked in so we can start prepping throughout the weekend and into next week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, look, if Milne and Tommy are on Hangout today, we probably should have
perhaps like a dedicated
the
hour
host,
to it,
the host
discussing about
of the Hangout get those first 2 selections for us. That'd be great.
I'm sorry. I have
man.
another guest in Dan Grummett who isn't a part of this.
But he's a huge
and
fan of the
I
draft.
want to have a wonderful conversation with Dan where
He
we're
can
going to
sit by
talk some
politely.
Edmonton Oilers and do some other things. So maybe get your commissioner to do that.
Jay Milne chimes in.
Yeah, I see this. I will offer a trade to Tommy for the first pick, EST Glue Guy. Now, Milner, are you talking like the first pick in the draft of picks? Or are we talking first pick in the... he's going to take the first overall pick. Rip City Sepp says, why isn't Tommy taking the 4-5 swing? Do you think Tommy steps in here with the second choice and says, I'll take 4-5 swing? He makes he makes his living in the 4-5 swing, but his living's not very good.
You
in the
said
EST
this
draft,
could be
right?
a
Like,
top 2 heavy. And if you find yourself in one of the 2, you're coming away with a big prize.
Do you view it as top 2 heavy too?
In some drafts can be a real good spot, but in a draft such as this, I don't know why you would select to move out of that number 2 spot. But if it's Tom, well, bets are off.
This draft is dead to me. Not only did the true commish get bullied out of the 4th chair, the 4th chair is now constant taking away unique wild card drafter. Well, you could get relegated.
Yeah,
out of this
it's
one.
a relegation.
It's a relegation
system now we've implemented.
It's a relegation now. Jed says, Maddie, you sound like a 2-year-old who isn't getting his way. I don't care. Stomp, stomp, stomp. This is your way. You chose to leave us, right? Like this is
is
what
the way.
you wanted. That's why I always find it very interesting that you're so bitter against it, because we did not kick you out. You left us, you know?
He left us. He left us.
He left us.
I'm trying to move on with my life. And you guys keep sucking me back in.
It's time to grow up.
You could have done this yesterday. You could have done this Monday. Instead, you chose to do it
We
when
ain't
I was
sucking
here.
anything. It's Friday. The draft is Wednesday, and you're
We always
Usually
do draft
you do it
orders
by
on Fridays.
No, you always
We
did
always
it
do it on Fridays,
week
you know?
of the draft. You always did it on the Monday for a Wednesday.
No, but we really
So,
like to do it on Fridays
yeah.
usually.
prefer.
But we're
Bullies.
always so busy on Fridays that like sometimes it gets away from us, so we left this spot open to do it today.
It's the time of the season.
And just to
Busy
give
time of year.
Now we're breaking in a new commish, extra time for.
Well, you
everybody
guys
to
are
prep
making
and
all
stuff.
the decisions, it seems like.
No. There's many of
Well-
us chiming in on decisions and stuff.
Again, I still haven't heard from Quinn that this was supposed to
Why
happen
would you
today.
have? Why would you have? To
She's
hear from
fine
Quinn?
with it. She's fine
Because
with it.
she should approve when the order is going to be done or how it's going to be done, and I'm just supposed to trust the two of you.
That's the old philosophy of thinking.
I'm supposed to just trust the two of you.
Right? It's a new wild world in draft.
It seems like
We
you
all-
guys are
we
running it a
all
little
trust
bit.
each other.
It seems like you two are kind of running it.
Well,
And
if we
I
don't
just-
get it done, I mean, who's going
Somebody's
to do
gotta
it?
do something.
So it
Somebody's gotta
just
do
seems like
somebody around here has to step up and own responsibility.
so already taking over, trying to take powers away from Quinn.
We're not trying to take powers away from Quinn.
You're now
You just
bullying
think
us. You're
that
putting
she
words
should
in our
have
mouth. You're putting
full
actions in-
dictatorship over the draft like you did. Somebody just hit us up in the nasty chat, said Kikuchi just came out and said he did not book the reservation. What? Who's got that? Silver Slugger. Who reported it? Wait a second. Is this
Morosi.
from Morosi? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just thinking. If Morosi came out and gave us that, to be honest with you, I don't really care at that time. But is this a true report? So who comes out? Who makes up that idea? Like in all this stuff that's fabricated along the way, you could see CAA. Like did CAA call the restaurant and say, "Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna book a reservation in Kikuchi's name."
Was that restaurant actually booked? Did anyone actually call the restaurant to see if it was booked?
Well, somebody must have called.
Well,
the
that's
restaurant.
all-
Like with everybody who was on this story, somebody must have called the restaurant to see if it was booked. Had to have.
So I do see. I think his Instagram. He has a story.
Okay.
If this is his account, it has just a post. I want to make it clear that I did not have a sushi party last Friday. I can eat sushi for 50 plus people, but I certainly never had a sushi party with 50 plus people.
So he said he could do it, but he didn't.
He didn't have the party with 50 plus people. That didn't say, he doesn't say he didn't reserve a place for 50 plus people.
It's pretty misleading. Otani Jet lives on, eh? Week 2. Where are we by next Friday?
That's a good one. All right, keep those rolling in. We got Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. So it has been determined. Jay will get to pick where he picks first, or he can stun us all and take the chair. Right? If he loves that spot.
That's the option now. You gotta,
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he
and
prefers.
now,
and
like
he
for
likes
us,
resets.
like, do I try to take Tommy's chair and rattle him even more?
Maybe that's the power play here, hey? Get in the mind, mental games. I know Jay loves that seat, though.
He does love that seat.
He really loves that seat.
We can't let Milne, if he gets the first overall pick, also get that chair by default.
Too comfortable.
He can't get the chair that he wants and the first pick. This is why we put this into place. Or should we say the former commissioner helped put this into place?
Disgraced.
You can't be disgraced when you left on your own, honestly. I mean,
So then why do you keep saying it?
well, because people said it. I'm trying
Yeah.
to defend you right now, Manny.
No.
All right, let's. What do we got? A minute and 27 seconds here. Let me. We're gonna make the switch. Get into beer of the week. Here we go. Minute 16, boys.
Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week on the Nielson Show, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Oh, wow, bully. He said bully again. It's Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Hey, maybe you're listening to the Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week podcast as well. Man, you've been bullied so much that Maddie doesn't even have you in the shot right now, Rick. You're partially off of it.
What am I supposed to do?
Oh, no. That was me.
The camera's the camera.
Maddie, stop bullying us. This is ridiculous. Oh, my God. Maddie. A terror. Actually, it ended up being a real nice shot when you came back. I leave that right there. That's nice. You can text us 780-218-9999. The Beer of the Week segment also available as its own podcast at EdmontonSportsTalk.com and on all your podcasting platforms. Just search Beer of the Week, and you can find it there. We've got a gift certificate that somebody will probably have to remind me to give away a little bit later on in the segment as well. I do like a Bootski in the nasty chat saying, guys, will Coolbet put up odds of Quinn resigning during or immediately after her first draft as commissioner?
Yeah, maybe a sprinkle, hey?
But what would we do if Quinn leaves us? Do you think he wants back in?
No.
No? Oh, really?
No.
What gave that away?
I feel like he's. I think he's happy. I think he would come back in under the right terms and
Oh,
circumstances.
my God. We can't give in to those demands,
I think you're you
killing
know,
me.
I don't know. You might have to.
Yeah.
You might have
no,
to.
thank you. All right, let's get to. Hey, by the way, so you texted in 6 o'clock or lager on tap at. So what do you think, like the 22nd? I know Ken's been talking about
so that sounds like the 22nd. We're going to have the auto ship hitting our stores.
Okay.
So there'll be lots of product in Edmonton.
That's a
area.
direct ship,
Direct
right?
ship
Beautiful.
right from Alley Cat straight
Love
to
it.
our stores. Everyone's getting 10 flats. A bunch of stores are getting 20. But we also talked. We have growler bars in 3 of our locations: Shore Park Mall, Leduc, and Newcastle in the North End. So we've got kegs secured with Lachlan that they're going to drop them off as well. So you can come in, fill your growler at the same time. So you get it on right on the tap. So beer tastes different on tap, right? So it always tastes a little fresher, a little better. So yeah, 3 stores will have it. You can fill your growler. So
Perfect.
Pretty neat.
Well, that's amazing. Now look, we've said the date.
Yep.
We said how much his product's going to be moved that day. Do you think we should get some security for the deliveries from Alley Cat to the Sobeys locations?
It's quite possible.
Yeah, I think so.
A
Yeah.
motorcade, full motorcade, hey?
Yeah. Well,
Streets blocked off.
We've
closed.
recently initiated Tube Socks as head of security.
I can see that.
So we'll have him organize the team, right, with the beard and
Yeah,
stuff.
I can see that.
That would work out pretty well.
Double dipping, you know?
Yeah. All right, what do we got today? We got 5 beers today.
We
This
got
is a great
5
idea.
beers
Yeah.
today. I mean, it's Friday. We need 5 beers. So yeah, we're going growlery. So yeah, one of my favorite breweries for sure. We have this. I think might be the 3rd time we've tasted these guys before. Kevin and the crew down there in Blatchford. So they've been around since 2019. Great beers. We're going to taste the Kolsch. We've got the Tarps Off, which is a pear golden ale. The Tarps On, which is the actual beer of the week, which is a raspberry porter. Then we've got
raspberry porter.
Raspberry porter. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The cans are great on these ones too. They've kind of redone a couple of them, but they're fantastic. Then we're going to go a New England IPA and then a West Coast IPA. So it's always neat when we can kind of go, East Coast, West Coast in these IPAs, so you get both kind of flavors and different profiles. But yeah, $13.99 for a 4-pack of these guys. Again, one of my favorite breweries in Edmonton.
And where'd you say they are again?
They're in Blatchford.
Blatchford.
Great place to check out.
Yeah.
They had that thing during COVID where you could sit outside. They had the heaters outside. I enjoyed. Snowsuit sat out there for a couple, and it was nice. And in that whole area now with the airport controller tower.
The tower.
And everything. Yeah.
The houses are starting to come in. I mean, I know it's a little bit behind where they think they thought it was going to be as a city, but that whole area is going to be really, really nice, and they're kind of on the ground floor of it down there.
It's always bumping.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So yeah, so let's start with the Kolsch.
This is the Kolsch, right?
This is the Kolsch.
We've had this one before. I recognize that can, yeah.
Yeah, the Kolsch and the Vega have been kind of one of their two of their original beers.
Okay.
The Kolsch is one of the best sellers for us in store. There's the raspberry porter, the pear golden, a little different. Kolsch is, again, every day in your fridge. Everyone's going to like the Kolsch. This is a really just easy drinking, smooth, delicious 5% beer. Great beer.
All right. Well, hey, how about a cheers to a guy who's been referred to by some as a disgraced commissioner.
Yes.
But stepping up today as a producer and delivering that wheel for us. Hey, here's to Matty, Mr. Lean himself here. Like it's super smooth, but there's a little bit of flavor in there too, right?
You're gonna get a little maltiness to it,
Okay,
maybe
that's
just a
little
tiny,
maltiness.
tiny mild sweetness, maybe to it.
Yeah.
Mild sweetness is probably the best way to kind of I would describe it, but clean, crisp. Everyone's gonna like that. This is one of those ones you put in your fridge. Someone doesn't. I'm not a big craft beer guy. Give them that one. They're gonna be a craft beer guy.
No, that's really good. I like that a lot.
So then let's go with the pear golden. So this is the tarps off. So kind of their yeah. Exactly.
You do tarps off. I'll do the tarps on one.
So this is a pear golden ale. So you're gonna see.
You guys hear that?
You heard it.
It's like
I can hear it.
You heard the voice for the first time. I love it.
I can hear it.
It's like Whale and the Wolf's getting a little upset.
Yeah.
Like, pass us a beer.
Yeah,
we like beer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, this one here. This is
not as many bubbles.
Tarps off. Yeah. So you're gonna get slightly malty, slight citrus.
You can smell the citrus. The nose is citrusy.
Golden ale, and you're gonna get some of that pear kind of coming through on the finish. Again, 4.6, nice and light, delicious beer.
You can smell the pear too.
Well, your produce, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and
heightened senses.
fed our kids when they were little. Lots of pears. Lots of pears.
Yeah, delicious beer. Cheers.
All right,
Tarps off.
boys.
Hey,
Tarps
cheers
off.
to Stuart Skinner
Oh.
and the eventual bounce back that's coming.
Like it.
I know summer right now. Somebody's like, "How dare you cheers Stuart Skinner
Yeah.
after the third period last night?"
He's had one bad period and.
Exactly. Thank you, Scott.
Here we go.
How
Scott.
many games, right?
Let's
Let's relax a little bit. I mean, how good would Vasilevsky be on? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. And look,
how many kidneys
if the
does it
Oilers
take?
had Vasilevsky, they would win 64 hockey games.
Yeah. We were talking, how many kidneys does it take for all of us to donate to some, outfit, black market, to get him, and 5 first-round
I think
picks?
you'd probably rather donate him to not a black marketplace, but a place that takes kidneys.
Is there places that take kidneys? The kidney place. Yeah. Okay, let's go. This is the actual beer of the week. So this is Tarps On. So this is the raspberry porter.
Nice outdoor hockey look.
Yeah, oh yeah. So this is the flood the ice, burst out the toboggans, and enjoy this little treat all winter long.
Oh, so a winter beer.
Talking to you,
Winter beer. Look at the
It hasn't
color.
I haven't been able to flood the last couple of nights. It hasn't been cold enough, I don't think.
It's been
It's been weird.
It's been
This
very
winter
weird.
sucks.
Maybe the blessing of the beer, mate.
This
smells
smell that.
really good. Because you get a little bit of the porter smell,
I'm
but
loving
it's
the color,
actually
boys.
more overwhelming on the raspberry.
Raspberry. Lots of raspberry. 5.7, so it's a strong beer as well. 5.7.
Are you getting more coffee smell, like porter
Getting a lot
smell,
of
or
coffee there.
or you getting the raspberry?
coffee.
Not getting the raspberry.
I get a lot of raspberry. A little
Me
bit,
too. I'm getting a lot of
bit
raspberry.
Layer
little
of
bit
the can.
chocolate, little bit,
I
yeah,
got
exactly.
the coffee
Yeah,
part,
a little
right?
bit of chocolate in this
Chocolate,
one.
yeah.
$13.99. Great beer. Again, we're getting into the winter beers, red ales, porters, darker style beers. $13.99. You can't beat that price for this beer.
Well, cheers to the CFL schedule release
Yes.
and a great
Oh,
day
yeah.
for the Canadian Football
Roll on
League.
summer.
Finish.
See, to me,
There's the raspberry. Yeah, now I get it. Yeah, now I get it.
You have to wait for the raspberry?
Yeah, I did. And I knew it.
Because you guys know I'm not a big like coffee, stout, porter, whatever.
Yep.
To me, that was what lingered. That's what lingered after. Like I got the raspberry first.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got the coffee. This is very interesting.
No, I'm getting the raspberry now.
Yeah, lots of layers in this beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool beer. Again, you did really that. It's a warming beer. It's
yeah.
When you get into that it's going to get cold here. That's one for
Nice
it.
treat, like a mulled wine.
Yeah, it's a when you don't always have to have a hoppy IPA, right? So this kind of blends in that style to have something different. Maybe you're having some food with this one, or you're just sitting around having this is your first beer of the day. It's a really good one just to kind of mix in with the rest of these beers. So let's go with the New England IPA next. So New England IPAs, you're going to get kind of that tropical. So New England always kind of goes the tropical style, whereas the West Coast is more the pine.
The Yipa.
Yes, exactly. So this was the turbo prop. This is probably one of my, when I go to the tap room, this is the one I get. This is one of my favorite ones from Growlery. So you're going to get 5.8% strong New England, lots of, again, that tropical, citrus, classic New England IPA.
Powerful nose.
Delicious.
Very-
There's lots going on
yeah.
there, right?
That's
Like you see,
real
you
nice.
can see the haze on that one too. I mean, it's
A lot going on in there.
there's a lot going on in this beer.
Should we cheers your Rangers? Is that
Come
The
on,
Jers.
Come on,
the
big
Jers.
win.
Is that what they say? The
next,
Jers.
Next round
Cheers
of
to
Europe.
the Jers.
Draw on Monday. Anybody but Liverpool.
And I can't believe
I don't think we can because we both topped the group.
Oh, good.
Or is that-
right.
yeah, I think we-
okay, good. That's
Solidarity.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Anybody but.
I don't know how I never didn't like IPAs. You know what I mean?
Let
Like
you go, hey?
it's all about growing up, you know?
Yeah, now you're even questioning past self. Like that's where we're at.
There's a
now.
lot to question about my past self. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
There's again, you kind of have to grow into the flavors and
I think that's my favorite one so far.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great beer. And I always say, like, if you think of when we started this, 10 years ago, whatever it was, the flavors were very dramatic. So we were going from it was like Kolsch to strong IPA, very heavy bitter. The haze style wasn't necessarily the go-to style, so it was really hop forward beers. So back 10 years ago, it was a big jump. Whereas now you're kind of getting a lot of these hazy ones where they're not super hoppy, but the tropical flavors are coming more out. They're just more complex, so it's not just in your face bitter.
the game's just got better.
They've
A
just
lot of
got
space
better.
has been filled, and you don't take that big jump. It's just kind of steps towards whatever.
And it was a lot of American IPAs too. So we were like when
Yeah,
I
that's
first
a good
started,
point.
it wasn't a lot of these Alberta breweries. It was those strong Portland, really big, heavy bitter beers that they loved because they were a little ahead of us. So
It's
just
like
different stuff.
it's like the segment itself. When we started doing this, we were kind of stuck with that boat anchor, Jeff Hodgie, right? And then he left the city, bailed on Edmonton, and moved to Airdrie, and has never. The segments just continually got better since we brought you on
That's
board,
right.
right? So
Yep.
that'll get
How do you
a
rate
text from Hodgie. Eh?
You really laid that one out good, yeah.
I like how you said. I like how you said he moved to Airdrie as well, not Calgary.
No, well, but he did. He
I know.
moved to
I know,
Airdrie. He
I
lives
know.
in Airdrie. Oh,
Yeah.
been to his house in Airdrie. Beautiful house.
Beautiful house.
Beautiful house in
Beautiful
Airdrie.
house.
He's
Yeah.
done extremely well for himself. But let's the honest truth is the segment got better.
Despite himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Done well for
The fact that that guy hasn't been blown out yet just blows my mind.
Okay, so now we're going to go with the West Coast. So this is the Vega, 6%, so a little bit stronger. So you're going to get that pine flavor with
Such
the
a
West
different
Coast.
pour than the last one. Hey,
Yeah,
right?
no haze on this
Yeah.
one at all. More of that golden
Hey,
kind
Maddie.
of color.
See it.
You can see
Matt, do you want one? Okay.
Okay, we got to bring some wine in. There's a great wine deal coming up in the flyer. You're going to love 12 Days of Christmas here this week. So
12 Days of Christmas has been.
Man,
You're
that
going to have to
12
lay
days of
out how many
Christmas.
days we got left.
we've got 5 days left.
I took advantage of the spiced rum one.
6 days left.
Oh, man.
I know that
That was a
spiced
good
rum
deal.
one was fat. So yeah, so today
You guys must have moved a ton of spiced
we
rum that
did.
day.
I mean, like it's
look at
crazy.
today's, eh?
Maker's Mark bourbon. So bourbon guys out there, Maker's Mark, $26.99, save $17. Saturday is Stella. So you can go ahead and get your Stella,
That's-
$23.99.
yeah.
Great one to have in the fridge at Christmas. Save $13.
Save $13.
Save $13.
Unbelievable.
Then we got a Prosecco on next. So a Prosecco for $8.99.
Is that a wine?
Sparkling.
Or that's sparkling?
Sparkling. So this is Legiosa. This is $8.99. Save $6. So I mean, to get a sparkling, a Prosecco at $8.99 is unheard of.
Just prior to Christmas, like you got that 2 week before Christmas.
You need
Oh,
mimosas.
New Year's, that's right.
New Year's. You need breakfast drinks.
So
for
how much
mimosas.
is off on that one?
That's save $6 on that one.
$6. That's
Then we're-
almost 50%. That's like a 40% off sale.
It's crazy. And then Maddie's wine. So we've got full and Ari, $10.99. Save $12. So you're saving more than this is costing you on this.
See, because I usually when I was in that day, I was in, got the flat of 6 o'clock lagers.
Yeah.
Thanks for looking out. Picked up 3 bottles of spiced rum. I should have got more, but I was like, how much can I carry, right? And then I did. I asked the lady. I said, listen, yeah, they do have boxes, but I asked the lady. I said, so I always buy my wife really cheap wine, right? Like so she drinks like $9 bottles of wine. Like it's that type. But then recently she's like, this red wine's giving me like some heartburn a little bit. So I said to the lady, I said, I'm looking for something a little fancier. And she gave me like a $30 bottle of wine that was on sale, like at a really good rate. And there's no end to this story. I don't know if I don't think she's drinking yet. But I want to see if
hopefully the
heartburn goes away because it's like a nicer wine.
Yeah,
maybe.
I hope so. Yeah, well,
because she's drinking lots of wine since we started having kids, right? So I don't know.
I would say if she's if she's getting the heartburn, stay away from some of the Shiraz. Stay away from some of the Argentinian. There's lots of ways that we can get around this heartburn.
What's a Malbec?
A Malbec's going to be a little stronger for her. So yeah, so I mean, if it's $30, going to be nice. It's probably going to be really well made.
Okay, yeah.
But
so anyway, our wine budget's probably going to have to go up.
Not necessarily.
No.
If you go, there's always deals, and there's something we can find you.
Of course, Maddie's like, there's always deals.
Always
this is
deals.
the guy who's been hoarding chicken in his deep freeze for 4 months.
Who doesn't do that though?
Would you reuse chicken for 4 months though?
No, not 4 months.
I heard 6.
6 months?
That's a big chicken tender.
Yeah.
So Folinari, $10.99. Italian wine, $10.99. Save $12. Then we go with the Freak Show. So Freak Show is like $17.99, but it's
what's
save
Freak
13.
Show?
It's a cab.
It's
a big bold cab. California cab.
Cab Sav.
Cab Sav.
Cab Sav.
Beautiful wine. If you're looking for something special and don't want to spend $50 on a bottle of wine, get the Freak Show. Save $13, and then we're going to finish it off on the 20th with Grey Goose.
Okay.
$34.99. Save $20 on Grey Goose. So I mean, the deal is just 12 days of Christmas. It's fun. It's phenomenal.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a company and you're not doing 12 days of Christmas right now, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like it's just an automatic during the holidays.
Yeah,
right?
it's just
United's doing their 12 days. You guys doing your 12 days?
Yeah,
brilliant stuff.
It's great. So yeah, so we're gonna. This is the Vega. This is one of the best IPAs in Alberta.
What?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh wow.
This IPA is great. 6%. If you haven't had Vega, get Vega. It's a great beer. They make an awesome beer.
I think we should do a toast to Doug Roach, who provided us with
Got
so
us
much
through the
play-by-play content this week. And you know what? I'm going to play it.
How is that one call?
I don't. It's. I don't know.
Play it while we drink.
I'm going to play it while we cheers it.
Good
because
idea.
I still feel like it's a bit. You know,
who cares?
Still feel like I know.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it is a bit,
I'm
it's
all for
hilarious. So a cheers here. A cheers to Doug Roach.
Mr. Roach.
Billy Cassidy turns back. Looks like they're doing a little reverse that you might see in football. And here comes Bazin. He's got some speed. Split the D. Oh, what's he going to do? He's shooting the roof, Daddy. Oh, look at that. Look at this, look at that. And there's the speed and the old banana splitting Rudy. And, Vernon is rejoice as their nemesis, Steinbach. They get him in the overtime. Roof Daddy. As Bazin kept chugging as his speed helped split the D. And there's no slipping on a banana peel there as he went. Slipper on upstairs there. A goal as Verdon is happy.
Let's be honest. Sounds like when he got to the slipper one up there, like he'd been on Beer of the Week for a little bit.
That's the point. He had a few Vegas.
Yeah, no, I think that was pretty good. Okay, so
if he was a young guy, I would say it was a bit.
I know.
When you look at the guy, like he had.
Did Haji send you the video of this guy?
No.
It's funny. We were just ripping Haji, but Haji emailed me yesterday. He goes, check this out. And it's like a 4-minute feature on Doug Roach as like
he teaches
as the pillar,
woodworking at the
pillar
school,
of the community. Like, it just doesn't. When you watch it, you're like, that's not the guy who had this call in any way. It's
a bit.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's pretty impressive. All right, well, one more cheers to the holidays. Now, on Wednesday, are you able to come in next Wednesday?
Yeah, for sure. I'll come in Monday,
Maddie,
Tuesday,
are you okay with this? I know Eric and I are off Thursday, Friday, but are you okay if we steal Scott? We're not doing a show Friday. Oh, yeah, we're not doing a show Friday, so it's just Thursday. Well, then you got to come in on Wednesday.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll tee up the draft really
Perfect.
nicely. Yeah, that'll be.
Sounds
get
good.
some beverages
One
for
more,
the draft on Wednesday. Yeah, cheers, boys.
Are we calling it the EST Derby this weekend? Is it that?
Is that what this is?
We
You
shall.
guys-
Might as well. I know. Sorry.
It's that
You have
bad,
to
eh?
take
Manchester United. Manchester United's this bad now?
Listen, I feel for
Really?
you. I feel for you.
How did?
As if you're not going to watch it.
He's gonna watch it.
I'd have to find an illegal stream.
Hey, come over to mine.
You got an illegal stream?
No, I pay.
Yeah.
Oh, you just don't pay for it?
No.
Some supporter, hey?
Wow.
I thought you cared about your team.
With the other billion people that are watching?
Just a fan.
No, but you would want to watch your team on a regular basis. Well, why do you pay, Eric? Why don't you just find it for free then, too?
Because I like the convenience and I love my club, and I will pay money to watch my club.
I pay as well.
You pay as well because we love our club and we're proud of our club.
Exactly.
And I understand your position, Maddie. I wouldn't pay money for that garbage either.
If they were,
I was.
Why would? Well, he agrees.
I know. Still though,
I wouldn't be watching. I wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah.
my team can never win the league, but yeah, I know. I know. I get it. Listen. I know what it's like to know you don't have a chance to win the league.
And it unravels and unravels, and you can't stop it.
Yeah, I get it.
I can't believe your team's doing well.
Me either.
I thought your team sucked all the time.
They got a new manager.
Topping the group yesterday was high. Like, that
Massive.
was an exciting.
Yeah.
All of that ending.
Huge.
Yeah.
Celtic lost this week, so that's good for us.
Another bonus for you, yeah.
We've lost 3. They've lost 1. So
Amazing.
It's the slow comeback is on.
All right, let's get into the. You're going to be here for 12 days of Christmas. Smack dab right in between us.
I love it.
If
This
you
is
want to
the
say
best
from
part.
A&W.
Oh,
feel
yeah.
free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feel free.
Okay, so let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours.
I gotta get that out before I start singing.
Did you guys pick up the burp? Is it?
I gotta make sure. That
If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it done at William Huff. They've been doing it since 1972. WilliamHuff.com. They can turn a rather boring boardroom into a sweet, sweet studio. Yeah. So get that done at William Huff. Eric, what'd you learn on the show today?
Man, well, we learned that Maddie's still a little
Still
bit
wants to be commissioner, right?
A little reluctance though, but I think that
It got
somebody
done,
texted
didn't
me,
it?
you can take the commission out of the draft, but you can't take the draft out of the commish.
That's a really good text.
I think that's how it goes.
That's a good one, actually. That could be text of the day.
And
eh?
we love Maddie producing the show because he did bring up on the Coolbet Hotline a Day bowl season, which kicks off tomorrow all day long. Best time of the year. So thank you for that, Maddie.
Also, if you want to get in the mix for this gift certificate that nobody reminded me about,
Well, Brent
the
has
Sobeys
beer
Safeway
me
Liquor,
already, yeah.
text beer me into the inbox right now, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Just text beer me in, and you will slide in for the gift certificate to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. All right, let's get to your sound of the day today. Lieutenant Eric, are you good to go here?
I
My
can't.
God, man. Are you going to be okay? Like, holy
Yeah,
smokes.
no, I'll be fine. I just want to make sure that I'm not doing that. In the
Glue
middle of
guy,
the song.
first choice of where you want to go. You got to go first overall, right?
I'll give it to Tom because he needs the help.
No, you're not. You're not
Well,
going to give it to
that's-
Tommy.
I'm open for trades.
Wow.
Yeah, but giving.
You're gonna say you're gonna take first, and then you could trade it to Tommy.
12 days of Christmas.
My God, Glue guy's thinking of just handing it over to Tommy to have the first pick. I think Tommy with the second choice is considering 4-5 swing right now, guaranteed. And former commish who has a great legacy. We'll discuss it on the hangout today, and we'll determine how it goes. I think. All right, let's see here, Rick. Let me just see this again. We're gonna go
The hat trick.
It's too
1
much.
and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. That's what we're gonna
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I'll hit.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
So there's a little bit of a delay there. I'm going to hit this with my mouse instead. All right, here we go. Ready? And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3.
On the first date.
What happened there? Was that me or was that you? I feel like I hit it pretty good. Was that me?
Do you know where you hit it? It was saying partridge in a pear tree already.
Actually,
and
the file was moved over. Hang on. There you go.
I'd have to-
All right, let's do this again.
Behind the curtain here.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3.
Did it again. You got it.
I didn't do it again.
1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3.
Oh, did I hit it on 3? Damn. All right. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3.
On the first day of Christmas, EST gave to me a black sedan guy being creepy. On the second day of Christmas, EST gave to me 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 3rd day of Christmas, EST gave to me 3 spa dates, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 4th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 4 tomato aspics, 3 spa dates, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 5th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 6th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 6 alley cats, 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 7th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 7 sirloin bites, 6 alley cats, 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. On the 8th day of Christmas, EST gave to me 8 hockey specials, 7 sirloin bites, 6 alley cats, 5 cafe lattes
From A&W.
4 tomato aspects, 3 spa days, 2 Tombstone Tuesdays, and a black sedan guy being creepy. 8.
Nailed it. Well done, LTE.
Good job, boys.
Hey, what's it?
Supporting
I gotta ask you, what's it like sitting directly next to this guy?
It is amazing. It just gets better. The voice comes through. You get the confidence.
It's like
builds.
the 6 o'clock lager on tap.
Exactly.
It's a little more like
a little more, just a little more boost.
When you hit the 5 days on 7, I kind of laughed. I couldn't even say that from A&W. And then or that was on 6 maybe. And then I missed a hallelujah.
You did.
Sorry,
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Well,
man.
that's okay. But you know,
I let you down.
drop in when you want.
It's hard to focus on anything else. Just be in awe.
It's
Just
the beauty
I know
of the
it's
song.
tough.
It's tough.
Your sister's like you're sitting next to Pavarotti, and he's like,
my
"Hey,
goodness.
play this.
Yeah.
I want a triangle." You know,
It's true. It's true.
It's tough to do.
Unbelievable.
That is tough to do. Hangout is coming up. Text of the day today. Let's just go with this one that came in from a Bootski a little bit earlier on. Touchy Mr. Lean is the best Mr. Lean of all.
Oh no, Mr. Lean got a 5-star this morning from the Nasties. It was great. The heel on full display.
I find it interesting how he's trying to weasel his way back into the position, though.
Well, it's the long play. He identified this. This has been
Oh,
the
yeah.
plan all along.
Oh, yeah.
Get the people on the
I'm
side
gonna
and
leave
then
you.
yeah.
Everybody's gonna rally support for me, and then it's a triumphant return. Like it's ridiculous.
It's too easy.
Somewhere Quinn Phillips is like, "What the hell's going on right now?" And this guy's trying to weasel in on
She's
her
been
job.
used.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Blue Jays thing with Otani. Hey, that's exactly what this is.
He's the Dragons Den.
All right. Yeah, exactly. For Robert Hergevek and Lieutenant Eric and Scott Laurie, I'm Dustin Nielsen. The Hangout's coming up. Make sure you stick around. Jay Milne, who has the choice of where he wants to draft. Tommy Gazzola is sitting second, so he can pick if he wants to go a 3-4 swing, whatever. I think they're going to get to this on the Hangout today. I don't know. Let's see. I think the host of the draft probably is kind of intrigued by storylines for the draft.
You can't go
which
the
we
2
have
hours
on his show.
You can't go 2 hours without bringing it up.
100% I can.
What do you mean?
Oh, man, you got.
How can you
man.
not?
We got to
The
know.
people
We
want
got.
it.
We have
What are
to
we not
know.
talking the Oilers game today?
I'm going to barge in there if you don't.
No, you're
go to it.
talking Liverpool, Man United. You're not talking that.
I'm barging in.
Give me a break.
We could talk Oilers. We could talk CFL schedule.
You don't want to talk about any of this.
There's everything to talk about.
Was it a sports show?
Yeah, unbelievable. Figure out where they're drafting so we can finish this up.
Talk to the other host of the show.
Maddie, please. All right, that's going to do it for the Nielsen Show today. For Maddie and Lieutenant Eric and Scott, I'm Nielsen. Hey, tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm going to be back with Lock Shop. Huge weekend in the NFL. We'll set that bad boy up. Oil stream today. I'm sure Tommy and I will yell at each other about did they get goalied or did they not get goalied. We'll get into that as well. Look at Glue Guy bringing this guy coffees. What a sketchy bugger, eh? Unbelievable. We can't even bring that in. I guess we could have brought in something for you this morning. Didn't even think about that. All right, turn autoplay on. Hangouts coming up. Have a great day. Tell your friends about EST. Take it easy.